Let me get to my match.
Hello, you're all very welcome here to Chadwick's Wexford Park for the Intermediate Hurling Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final between Crossabeg, Ballymurn and Halfway House Bunclody. Both of these teams had decisive victories, convincing victories in their quarter-final clashes. Crossabeg comfortably defeated Aldgate Glenbrine by 8 points, and Bunclody comfortably defeated Monageer Bullafoe by 6 points. And Paul Laffin is here with us today, and JJ Doyle. Paul, what are your thoughts ahead of the game?
I was just thinking about this morning, Peter, and really, I am really excited about this one. The senior, I suppose, by its very nature, gets most of the plaudits and most of the coverage. But I think Crossabeg's win over Aldgate last week really brought the intermediates into light. And now people are kind of wondering, can they do it? Can they back it up and go 2 weeks in a row? Now, I haven't seen Crossabeg in the flesh this year yet, and I've seen Bunclody twice. And I suppose going by what I've seen, listen, Bunclody are very good as well. At the start of the year, I kind of thought Crossabeg this would be their year. They didn't really start very well, but these championships are all about momentum. And realistically, once you get 1 or 2 wins in a row at the vital stage, that's all that matters. And listen, Crossabeg have been here and done this. They're very, very good in semi-finals. Listen, they nearly win all the semi-finals they play. The finals seems to be their issue in the last 10 years. So I suppose if you were asking me for a prediction, I give a hesitant vote to Crossabeg, but it could be extra time, Peter.
They struggled to beat Bushenstown, and they didn't beat Timon, but they put that right the last day, didn't they, really?
They did, yeah, and like I suppose people talk about the 22 or 23 wides that they had against Timon, and the thing with that is, you have 22 or 23 wides. It means you are attacking and you're getting lots of opportunities, making opportunities, and it's about converting those. And they did that against Aldgate the last day, and I suppose the big challenge for them now is, can they get up for today like they did last weekend against Aldgate? You're playing your local rivals and that, but it's a county semi-final. You'd expect them to get there, but again, you have Bunclody, beaten in the county final last year, have been impressive in patches, especially in the the first couple of games and in parts of the matches. And I think Owen Kelly is an awful loss to him today. He really makes him tick there in the middle of the field. But one person's misfortune is another person's opportunity, and it's Eddie Black started last day. Eddie Dunbar is actually starting today. He was on the bench last day. He had a bit of an injury, and I've seen him in a couple of games, and he was very important to him around the half-forward line. So it'll depend on who picks up Oisin Foley in the forward line. The two marquee players clearly, and they're out there for the throw-in now, are Aidan and Paddy, and each opposition will be trying to figure out how to play around them. Paddy was very good against Aldgate the last night. He sat back and really cut out the supply of possession at the Podge Doran. So it's an intriguing battle. I think actually Wexford Park could suit the Bunclody lads. They've been here, they've had plenty of opportunities over the last couple of years between semi-finals and finals, and they'll be very much looking at this as being their chance, and this is the year. And a bit like Paul, I'd give hesitant, I suppose, the nod to Crossabeg. I think I'd give the nod to Bunclody in this one.
And the conditions here today, again, as we made reference to, the wind in Wexford Park here normally blows towards the sea, but today it seems to be the flags behind the scoreboard are actually blowing inland today, and the wind is going to be favouring those playing into the Clonard end, Paul.
Yeah, the flags are blowing a bit that way, but I suppose the ones around the edges are not blowing too much, and you'd be hoping that it won't make a difference. But I can imagine each team, Bunclody with Aidan Nolan, would try to get him loose as often as possible. Crossabeg, same on the other side, they'll try to get Paddy loose as much as possible. And if you have players of that stature, that's what you're trying to do. You want to get your main fellas onto the ball as much as possible, and basically in space. So it's an intriguing battle, and I could imagine maybe you'll see one of them pushing forward in the last 10 minutes if it needs be to get a result.
And just in terms of the team list then, from the programmes that were circulated there on social media, there's 2 changes on the Crossabeg Ballymurn line-out. Number 5 David Murphy and number 12 Jack Fortune are not going to be starting, and number 18 Bill Eviston and number 19 Conor Devericks is.
Please stand now for our
and we're almost ready for the start here. And just in terms of the change on the Bunclody team, unfortunately last week Owen Kelly suffered a nasty leg injury and he's unable to play today, and he's going to be replaced by number 18 Eddie Black. So that's the only change on the Bunclody 1-15 that was circulated in the matchday programme. So JJ, we're almost ready to start and looking forward to an intriguing game.
Yeah, listen, as we kind of all said, and the boys said in the preview there yesterday as well, it's a hard one to call. I suppose, Crossabeg have Kevin Kennedy on the line with them, and he's trained them this year, and he would have trained Bunclody for a couple of years there, so he'd know the Bunclody lads inside out. Maybe that gives them a little bit of a head start as well. It'll really be interesting now to see how they settle in the first 10-15 minutes of the game.
And the referee is David O'Leary. The two linesmen are Dan Crosby and Philip Murphy, and we wish all them the best of luck, and both sets of players, as the ball is thrown in by the referee David O'Leary. The first to clear it there is heading in the Bunclody direction. Eddie Black has it under control now and is looking to set Bunclody on the attack. Peter Atkinson is in there. A good battle between him and David Keogh is bound to ensue today, but Atkinson has the first ball. Shot from Atkinson is half blocked and into the arms of the goalkeeper Noel Scallon. Scallon sends the ball long. It's flicked away that time very well by Mark Byrne that time, and the ball is on the ground now. Colin Farrell is favoured for halfway house Bunclody, and Farrell managed to send the ball forward there to Cathal Doyle. There's a chance now for Doyle to set up the opening score of the game. He's been pursued well, and I think the pass outside has gone over the line. It was too heavy that time, and out over the sideline at the far side for a line ball to Crossabeg Ballymurn.
Yeah, just looking at there, see Sean Kenny is picking up Oisin Foley. Oisin did the same as he did last week. He's not playing centre forward. Just looking at the Bunclody forwards there, they've a few small men, and the Crossabeg backs, they're big strong guys there.
And one of the big strong guys is Paddy Foley. He's taking this line ball. It's gone down the line there. Tygo Kelly got his hurl to it, and the ball breaks to the ground now. I think Mark Byrne is there for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and there's a crowd of bodies there. Who's going to get it up? There's no one laying claim to it yet. It was kicked forward there by Ronan Devricks, but it's gone out over the sideline, and it's going to be a line ball for halfway house Bunclody. We've yet to, I suppose, settle down, Paul.
Yeah, we need to settle down. A small bit scrappy, probably expected in the first few minutes. Just noticing there that Aidan Nolan did go back and just cover the edge of the leader straight away, and his marker kind of got into the ruck, and listen, Aidan is not going to follow him out anywhere. Maybe Crossabeg are hoping he'd follow his man, but no, Aidan is just going to sit there, while at the other end Crossabeg are trying to get Paddy free, but Bunclody seem to be saying we're going to mark you, Paddy. And
Aidan Nolan now is the one to take this line ball for Bunclody. It's very well struck in towards the full forward line. Batted away that time by Martin Redmond as far as Ronan Devricks up the line. There's a race here now between Shane O'Rourke and Tygo Kelly. O'Rourke has an inside pass to Paddy Devricks, went astray that time, but Seamus Carroll is there to collect it. There's a block down by Eddie Black, but the pass still gets out to Shane O'Rourke. Pulled on that time in towards Tony Murphy and Colin Farrell. The good battle on the ground. The breaking ball falls to Niall Murphy. A shot from Niall Murphy on the turn and a point. JJ.
Yeah, Martin O'Connor there marking Niall Murphy. You can't give Niall Murphy a yard, but you give him 2 or 3 there, and Niall is absolutely lethal when he gets space. He's a live wire in there. It's very, very loose out around the middle third of the field when Crossabeg were attacking there, so I think Bunclody might need to tighten up a small bit. A
long high puck out from Arthur O'Neill in the goal there. The breaking ball was added to that time by Cathal Doyle, and Paddy Foley is over there, and there was a push in the back on Paddy Foley, and I suppose Ballymurn are the quickest to settle now, Paul.
Yeah, they listen, looked dangerous, and I was wonders what a quick ground ball did there. I mean, maybe Bunclody were expecting Shane to pick up that one and hit it, but he just let fly in the ground, and it was a great ball in actually into David. But yeah, Crossabeg, they're at the moment to be very happy with what's happened so far.
The free to be taken by the man who was fouled, Paddy Foley. No doubt he has the range to score from here, especially with there's probably just a small little bit of a breeze with him. That one is sent a little bit lower than normal. It's going to land in around the square. Added to that time very well, and it's a goal for Crossabeg Ballymurn. I think it was number 13 Mark Byrne scored that one. JJ.
Yeah, it's one of those balls that that just above head height coming in. He got a big left hand up and got a flick to it with the hurl. So it's a bad start for Bunclody. They just need to settle down now.
Conor Crane was the recipient of that short puck out, and it's gone up the line now to Cathal Doyle, very close to the sideline. There was perhaps a push in the back by Declan Byrne that time, and it's going to be a free in now to Bunclody. But that was a fabulous bit of skill there in the corner by Mark Byrne to flick that one on its way, Paul.
Yeah, it was Mark, and maybe I'll half argue, which I think the full forward might have got a flick either, but between the two I don't know which one it was, but it was a great flick, and it was very reminiscent actually to what Michael Lloyd did against Owler all years ago in injury time in the senior hurling. And listen, he kept his eye on the ball, and he kind of directed it into the net more than pulled on it.
And an excellent start for Crossabeg Ballymurn after 4 minutes here in Chadwick's Wexford Park. Billy Kelly has a chance to get Bunclody onto the scoreboard. No mistake that time, and Billy Kelly is probably not going to make too many mistakes on the frees, JJ.
No, he doesn't. I think he only had a couple of chances from frees against She last week, Peter. But no, he's normally very, very good on it.
That puck out there, it breaks through, and Shane O'Rourke and Aidan Nolan are in a foot race. O'Rourke has it there and flicks it out to Mark Byrne. I think he scored the goal. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see back on the replay later on as the ball comes to Eddie Black here now. There's a chance for Eddie to make a few yards. Cutting across there is Conor Devericks, but the ball is sent forward to Edward Dunbar. Paddy Foley is there too, a shot from Dunbar. I think, judging by the body language of the goalkeeper, that one's going out to the right, but it's still in play, and Peter Atkinson has it. If Peter can turn now, there's a chance here. Atkinson, a good sidestep. He scored 2 goals last week. That one is deflected out very well by Noel Scallon in the goal for a 65, and that little passage of play, Paul, shows the danger that Peter Atkinson can pose there in the full forward line.
He was very good for long stages of the match last week, and he really is their threat in the inside forward line. And maybe, listen, I know he went for goal as soon as he got it, but listen, I suppose he was taking a chance. There was 2 defenders inside him, but listen, Peter, you know what you're going to give it, Peter. He will go for goal every time he gets it, and more often than not, he'll get a shot away.
Yeah, it's just interesting to note there that when Crossabeg are defending, Oisin Foley is coming back inside his own 65, and Sean Kenny's having to make a decision to come with him or sit back, and if he comes with him, it's creating vast amount of space in front of Niall Murphy in the full forward line. So it'll be interesting to see do they use that ball into the corner.
And that's a second pointed place ball from Billy Kelly, and it's now 1-1 to 2 points after nearly 7 minutes here. That puck out is sent long again. Bill Everson couldn't quite get to it, but Aidan Nolan does get to it for Bunclody. He's going to send a ball straight up the middle of the field here now. Paddy Foley is under it, and there's a little ease off of the ball by Edward Dunbar there, and there's still a battle for the ball on the ground. Sent forward now by Paddy Devericks. That ball is a bit too strong for Shane O'Rourke, but maybe Niall Murphy can get to it. Aidan Nolan and Niall Murphy out in the ball. I think there was probably a late hit there that time. Maybe they just crossed paths, and it's a free out to Bunclody, Paul.
Yeah, Niall knew he wasn't going to get to the ball and just let Aidan know that he was there, but this was a misplaced pass, and Shane O'Rourke was on his own, and a better ball probably would have given him a scoring opportunity. But I think what Jay just said, I think there's too much space in that half forward line for Crossabeg, for Bunclody's liking, actually. I mean, they're going to have to tighten up somewhere in the middle or in the half back line.
Free from Aidan Nolan is aimed towards the corner here, where Peter Atkinson has made a move. Batted down by Atkinson to himself. Flicked away very well that time there by Conor Devericks, and David Keogh is the one to clear it out there. Forward by Bill Everston. Tony Murphy is the target. I think Colin Farrell has read this one a little bit better, and it's gone out over the end line, and it's going to be a puck out now for Arthur O'Neill. 7 minutes gone here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final. Crossabeg Ballymurn 1-1, halfway house Bunclody 2 points. Yeah,
it's fairly obvious here that Eddie Dunbar is trying to mark Paddy Foley, and Bill Everson or Seamus Carroll doesn't want him to mark, so it's very crowded back in there.
This ball here is broken down from a Bunclody point of view, and Ronan Devericks is the one who has it for Ballymurn. A flick pass inside. Bill Everson just took his eye off it, but has it back now. Oisin Foley, a chance of a shot. It's gone very high. The crowd are not sure. I think that one has just gone over the bar, and a 3-point lead again now for Crossabeg Ballymurn, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, Oisin was back inside his, almost in his own half there, and the ball back out, and Crossabeg just used the ball a little bit better that time.
And as JJ has just said, Paul, Crossabeg Ballymurn are trying their best to leave Paddy Foley on his own here, but Edward Dunbar for Bunclody is not trying to let Bunclody don't want that to happen. Yeah,
no, and that'd be my thinking too. You just can't leave Oisin on his own, and listen, there will be 3 around him at all times, and maybe that won't suit Paddy, but listen, that's the game plan. He can't let the opposition's best player or most offensive player on his own.
That puck out from Arthur O'Neill. There's 2 Ballymurn men to 1 Bunclody men, but the Bunclody man is Eddie Black. Eddie had his in his hands as a chance now. Good pass inside. John Dunn, shot from John Dunn, but I think that one has gone to the right hand side and wide. But that was a good move, although the finish wasn't quite there, JJ.
Yeah, Eddie did brilliant in the air there, and turned and ran and gave the ball to John. But I think John would be more known as a worker out there rather than a finisher, and he probably definitely should have put that over the bar.
Puck out from Noel Scallon. There's a battle between Tony Murphy and Colin Farrell, and Farrell wins it on this occasion, and there's going to be a free out. The ball is being brought up. There was obviously a bit of argument after the free was given that time, and Colin Farrell has the helmet off. I think he got a smack in the ear or something, Paul, maybe.
Yeah, listen, the 2 of them were just kind of at each other, and it was Tony who just kind of pushed late, I suppose, or in front of the referee. But no matter what he does, he's not going to change his mind. Bit of descent up now, and it's within range now at the moment for Bunclody.
Yeah, and similar to Bunclody trying to mark Paddy, Shane O'Rourke is trying to mark Aidan Nolan as well, similar to what he did last week with Damien Reckon. Obviously both teams know who the main players are on each team, so they're trying to pick him up. And now
another very stylishly struck free that time by the Bunclody number 9, Billy Kelly. He scored the 3 Bunclody points so far. The puck out from Noel Scallon is headed over the far side. Tony Murphy and Colin Farrell in the battle again. I think Murphy might get the better of this one, maybe. We'll see. The ball is on the ground. And the ball is brought away that time by the Ballymurn man, but it's sent forward, and Aidan Nolan has it again now for Bunclody. The ball is in towards Kieran Regan here in the corner. Can Regan get it up? He's being pursued by Declan Byrne. The shot. That's going to turn in very nicely, and that's gone over the bar. Very good score that time from the youngster Kieran Regan.
Yeah, it's a lovely score. He was a little bit quiet last week, but 2 games ago against Adamstown he was absolutely superb in the full forward line. Brilliant ball there by Aidan Nolan, and Bunclody seemed to have come to grips a little bit with their backs there.
An excellently caught puck out that time by Oisin Foley. A chance for him to get a second point of the game. I think this one has gone well astray to the left hand side, and it's still 1-2 now to 4 points after 10.5 minutes, Paul.
Yeah, I think Crossabeg, Ballymurn, they probably won't be overly happy with the type of ball they're hitting in from the middle. They are getting space, but they've hit 3 or 4 really poor balls into the forwards, and they may come to grips with that fairly soon.
Puck out again is aimed towards Eddie Black. Batted down this time by Conor Devericks. Bill Eviston and Porrick Sinnott are in a race for it now. Bill Eviston does very well, and Shane O'Rourke has a chance now to set Ballymurn on the attack, but a vital interception that time by Eddie Black to get the ball back to Aidan Nolan. Crossfield pass from Nolan is aimed towards Cathal Doyle and Kieran Regan. Regan is out front to it again ahead of Martin Redmond. Can he get his second point in quick succession? That was a great catch that time by the goalkeeper Noel Scallon, and he's managed to win a free out that time. That's generally what happens. There was a little after the ball incident there, I think, but I think it's going to be play on. But a very good goalkeeping by Noel.
Yeah, listen, he caught the ball above the crossbar, and I think you were dead right. He managed to win a free because I think he's the one that caught Peter's hurl. But listen, that's the way you'll get it if you're cute.
Oisin Foley is out front of this for Crossabeg Ballymurn. There's Shane O'Rourke is in loads of space over this side if they can pick him out, but the ball goes over the far side where Bill Eviston is there. Bill doesn't see him either. There's still a chance of a goal here, but that ball is overhit, and Colin Farrell is the one to nearly clear the danger, but it's fumbled by Farrell, and Niall Murphy was trying to get it under control there for Crossabeg. Billy Kelly is there now to send it back to Tyke O'Cally. Forward from Tyke, aimed towards Edward Dunbar. Paddy Foley is there. Dunbar wins it very well this time. Blocked down again by Paddy Foley. And I think there was a little bit of a trip on him there as he was trying to regain possession that time, and it's going to be a free now to Crossabeg Ballymurn. This is exciting, but probably scrappy, you could say, in around the middle of times, JJ.
Yeah, you probably expect it though. Like, it's the first 10-15 minutes of a county semi-final, and both teams are kind of feeling each other out a little bit, and it's settled down shape-wise. It's settled down. I just think Bunclody need to be a little bit wary with Sean Kenny on Oisin Foley, because he's standing off him, and Oisin's getting on a lot of ball, and some of the quality that Oisin has, you can't let him have as much space. So they'll just need to watch that. Sean needs to maybe get a little bit tighter and forget about playing his own game and just stop Oisin.
And a free from Paddy Foley from his own half of the field inside his own 65 from right along the sideline has gone over the bar, and that's really a top class free from that distance, Paul.
Yeah, it was a really good free, and it's one that probably Crossabeg Ballymurn needed. They hadn't scored probably in a little while, and this is going to settle him again now.
That ball forward there by Conor Crane didn't quite go as planned, and Seamus Carroll is the one to pull on at that time out over the sideline for a halfway house Bunclody sideline ball.
Both teams seem to be keeping the ball out of the square. Kind of, JJ, I think it's very wide, isn't it? Like the play so far generally has been kept very wide.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what they want to do. That's what they're looking to do all the time, and to have the pace in the full forward line in particular.
Aidan Nolan again is the one to take this sideline ball now for halfway house Bunclody. Crossfield there, Tyke O'Cally catches it very well under pressure from the Ballymurn man, Ronan Devericks that time, and Devericks did very well to intercept it again and set Ballymurn on the attack. A low ball in, ideal for Niall Murphy to be out in front that time. Martin O'Connor is there pursuing him, but the ball is sent inside to Mark Byrne. A shot from Mark Byrne, and a point for Crossabeg Ballymurn. They changed defence into attack very, very quickly there, Paul.
Yeah, and listen, it was one crossfield ball passed by a nice pass then by Niall over to Mark, but you're still worried about the amount of space they're getting in there, JJ. They're getting loads of
I think we
space.
spoke about it already. They want that space. Like, you can just look at Oisin, where Oisin is setting up. They want space in front of Niall Murphy now. Ty Kelly did brilliantly to catch the ball from the line ball, but the pass just wasn't quite there.
Billy Kelly, some very good work there by him around the middle of the field to win a free for halfway house Bunclody, and a chance for them to peg back that point at Ballymurn. Very, very well worked there only a moment or two ago. Billy is 100% record on the frees so far. This one is not easy either.
Yeah, it just shows though the quality that Niall Murphy has there. I mean, he knew where he was going to put the ball before he even caught it, and that makes a huge difference. And it was an easy score then for Mark Byrne. So yeah, listen, it's been a lively start in fairness to both teams.
That's a very well struck free, but Paddy Foley has managed to bat it down from above the crossbar. Kieran Regan and Eddie Black. There was a foul on Eddie Black that time there, and it's going to be the foul is by Martin Redmond. It's going to be a free into Bunclody.
Yeah, it can be a dangerous thing to do, taking a ball down from over your crossbar like that when you're just batting into the square. They were kind of lucky that all the Bunclody guys were in under the ball, and there was no one maybe hanging around the 14, which I would always say you should have, just in case the ball comes off a post. Someone should be hanging around 21-14, and had there could have been a great goal scoring chance there.
I'd say there was probably a big chance the ball might just snuck over the post before he got it, because his hurls seemed to be well over the crossbar. But listen,
yeah, we had a few of those last year against Tipperary with Brian Hogan, kept catching them in Hawkeye, but there's no Hawkeye here today.
That free from Billy Kelly was a little bit tighter to the post than normal, but it's still gone over the bar as normal, and that's 4 pointed frees now for Billy Kelly. Short puck out this time is hit to Conor Devricks. A low ball there. Oisin Foley is the target. He's out in front of Sean Kenny. He has Devricks inside him, and he has Seamus Carroll further up the field. The ball finds Seamus Carroll now. Strike from Seamus off his left. I think it might just tail a little bit, and it has gone to the left hand side and wide.
Yeah, I think Bunclody's defending was a small bit naive there. 3 of them were pulled into Oisin that time, and Seamus just allowed loose.
I think we're at the water break time now, lads. 1-4 to 5 points to Crossabeg Ballymurn after 16 minutes of play. What are your thoughts on the opening quarter?
Yeah, listen, I'd say Bunclody would take 2 points by the water break after conceding the goal there, and that kind of a goal can be a killer. But they've really they've settled into it, and they seem to have, I suppose, in general play that they have gotten the grips at the back. But at times, as Paul just said, the defending is a little bit naive at times, and they're maybe getting dragged to the man of the ball. But I think they just need to get a lot tighter on Oisin Foley, because he's causing, he's creating a lot of play there. He got one nice point himself, but he's creating a lot of play as well, and they just need to get tighter on him.
And Paul, how would you sum up the opening quarter?
Listen, I think it's a cracking match. It's probably the best intermediate hurling match I've been at now. It is open. Maybe it's slightly too open for this stage of the competition, but yeah, both teams to be generally happy. Crossabeg maybe slightly sloppy with the balls they're playing in. Bunclody, as I said, only 2 points behind. They'd be happy enough. They only have 1 point from play, which is probably not great. And their forwards are going to have to maybe up a little bit more. Like Peter has kind of starved the ball, the one he got, he done well with. Kieran Regan only kind of got 1 ball out here, maybe one the far side. But I still think Crossabeg are maybe slightly on top in most of the key positions. And if it goes the way it's going, I think Crossabeg, listen, I think they'll be okay. But Bunclody just need to tighten up in the half back line. I know they're trying to get Aidan Nolan loose, but it's like maybe the rest of them think that Aidan's going to do the job for us, lads, and it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think for Bunclody it might be worth maybe just swapping John Dunn and Sean Kenny. Put John Dunn back from midfield and just tell him to just get really, really tight in Oisin. And then Sean is, he's that much more experienced to play maybe around the middle third. They're certainly lacking Owen Kelly's playmaking ability in the middle of the field. Like the few good balls that have gone forward have been struck from the half back line by Aidan, but there's not a whole lot that's going in from either the wing backs or either the midfielders. Billy Kelly's got a couple of good scores from play or from frees, but generally from open play hasn't done a whole lot. Ty Kelly normally gets on a good bit of ball, but he hasn't, he's been on 1 or 2, but not a massive amount either. So the middle third, they need to get more. We've already seen if they get the ball to the full forward line, they can cause trouble in there. So they just maybe need to work out how they're going to get on the ball in the middle third and then get it forward a little bit quicker.
And the game is to resume now. Arthur O'Neill takes a puck out and sends it over towards Conor Crane, who's right out at the sideline now as the game is back underway. Low ball forward, Edward Dunbar again is the target. A good first touch by Edward to get on the right side of Paddy Foley. Can he get a free out of this? Yes, he can. There was a foul that time on Edward Dunbar, and that was a clever little bit of forwards play, Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah, and listen, Edward seems to be kind of picking up Paddy, and he's going to tell you, Paddy, you're not getting anything easy here. And so Eddie didn't play the last day, so I didn't get to see him. But listen, he is having a fine game today, and it's going to be a tough ask for him to try to keep tabs on Paddy. But in saying that, Paddy is the back, and he's going to have to keep tabs on Edward as well.
Yeah, I saw Eddie played 2 games ago against Adamstown. He was very good in centre forward as well. But again, it came from a really good sharp hook out. And when Conor Crane got it, you can see he didn't just hit it straight away. He carried up and then a lovely low ball up the wing. And no big man likes to be dragged out to the wings like Paddy did there. And it's the only way to get any productivity out of your players, to go low when Paddy's marking him.
And that free from Billy Kelly was pointed. That's his 5th of the game. The breaking ball is maybe a dangerous one, but it's cleared there as far as Tygo Kelly. He's under pressure from Mark Byrne. A hand pass outside to Colin Farrell. Low ball from Farrell. Eddie Black is out first to it now for Halfway House Bunclody. He's being pursued by Conor Devricks. The ball low forward is towards Kieran Regan. Martin Redmond is there trying to get it away, but Regan does very well. Seamus Carroll, he's not very big, but he is very strong, and send Regan backwards that time, but Regan did very well to get a strike underway, and that's an excellent score, JJ.
That's an absolutely brilliant score, and a really good intelligent ball forward to him, but he is causing massive, that's a point from either side of the field now in the first half from play, and he has the corner back in trouble there, but he took a big shot. He's a young man, he's only just out of minor, to take a shot like he did there and then score when he already had used these 2 catches, and to score off the hurl that's an excellent score, and he is a confidence player. He was, as I said earlier, he was very good against Adamstown, and when you can get the ball to him and he's in this kind of form, he'll do damage in there.
2 very good points now for Kieran Regan, and the other 5 have come from frees, so he's proven to be their main danger. Paul.
Yeah, and that was the point of the match, definitely. I mean, he got his 2 catches and he was flipping from left to the right, so he seems very comfortable on both sides. But I think it was against yourselves, Peter, they came out half a water break and just kind of finished the game nearly then in that match, and it looks like they're doing something now, not something similar, but 2 quick points in a minute and a half after water break, and JJ said it numerous times that something's after the water break really, really grasped it by the netline, and it looks like Bunclody have done that so far.
Seamus Carroll was just receiving some attention there, but he seems to be up and ready to go again. And the poke out from Noel Scallon. Same towards Oisin Foley, but Sean Kenny is there to tap it down. Conor Deverick wins it for Crossabeg Ballymurn and sends it inside. The first touch by Shane O'Rourke wasn't great. Conor Crane missed the pull, but Aidan Nolan is the one to come away with it now. Chance for Aidan to take a shot, but that one looks to be going low and wide, and it's gone off to the left, and there was a bit of a snapshot there, JJ.
Yeah, that was rash, and it's not like Aidan, in fairness to him, it's not like him to have a rash shot like that, but Sean Kenny was far better there. He was really, really tight on Oisin Foley. You can see the 2 of them now are having digs at one another there, and that's what Sean needs to do. He needs to take Oisin's mind off hurling.
And this poke out from Scallon goes over the far side, but Billy Kelly is the one to collect it there for Bunclody. Cathal Doyle is a target. There was a late tackle on Billy Kelly as he was clearing. I think he got hit on the hand as the hand was on his hurl, and the free now is probably going to be taken by Kelly from the 65, and a chance for Bunclody to go back into the lead now, Paul.
Yeah, well, the way he's striking
into the lead,
the way he's striking him, he definitely wouldn't say that he's going to miss it. But Crossabeg did seem to take an eye off the ball now for a little while. And
Oisin's after getting booked there now, and Sean, look at Sean now. I mean, he was standing 5 yards off him for the first 15 minutes. He's up in his face, and he's, obviously Oisin's getting frustrated in that, but straight away after, you mentioned after the water break there, like Billy Kelly's after getting on the ball there, Tygo Kelly got on the ball, so they're starting to, the guys out around the middle that normally do play, are their playmakers, they're starting to get on it, and this puts them ahead, and that'll be 3 points in a row straight from the water break again.
The free from Billy Kelly is on its way, and that's gone over the bar as usual. That's his 6th point of the game now, and Halfway House Bunclody lead. There's 23 minutes gone here in Chadwick's Wexford Park. The poke out is aimed towards Sean Kenny and Oisin Foley. It comes off the hand of Oisin Foley, breaks to the ground, and Aidan Nolan is the one to come clear with it now. Crossfield ball from Nolan is aimed towards Kieran Regan. He's got 2 points already, but that time Declan Byrne flicked it away from him as far as Bill Evanston. Low ball forward from Evanston. Tony Murphy is there for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Can he get around the 2-3 Bunclody men that are there? Scoop pass inside, Shane O'Rourke a shot. And the score for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and we have a level game again, Paul.
Oh yeah, great score. That was actually a well-worked move, and 3 or 4 good passes in a row there. And listen, Kieran Regan is so close. If Kieran had got that ball in his hand at this end, I'm sure it was a point for Bunclody. So listen, it's small margins.
Poke out from Arthur O'Neill is over the far side. The one to get the hand to it that time was Bill Evanston, and the ball breaks to the ground. Cathal Doyle has it up now for Halfway House Bunclody, and he sends a low ball in towards Peter Atkinson. David Keogh is right there against him, and there was a good shoulder again by Seamus Carroll, but again Peter Atkinson has dealt with that one very well. He has options inside. He had used up his catches and the ball dropped to the ground, and it's now dropped over the end line and has gone wide. Some good defending there, JJ.
Yeah, it was a brilliant touch initially by Peter, but maybe at times he does take a little bit too much out of it himself, and the crossfield ball there was on, but look at someone the quality that he has, you can't really blame him for him, but he got a big shot there as well, and I think it kind of threw him off balance.
Noel Scallon sends this puck out short to Paddy Foley. He sends it long. Niall Murphy and Martin O'Connor are there underneath it now. It's tapped down by Murphy, but only as far as Aidan Nolan. Aidan has a chance to clear it now. A clever low ball infield where Billy Kelly finds himself in space. That shot is not hit as well as normal, but it's still a danger ball. David Keown, Peter Atkinson are there. Paddy Foley is also there and clears it for Crossabeg Ballymurn. The ball skips away there, and Aidan Nolan again is the one to clear it for Bunclody, and another clever ball inside. Tygo Callig is the one to receive it this time. He sends it forward there towards Edward Dunbar. Chance of a shot now for halfway house. Bunclody again. That's an excellent score again, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, the game has really come to life now, Peter. There's great tussles all over the field. I think Peter Atkinson now is it Peter Atkinson?
Yep.
He was down that for a long while there with his helmet off, and listen, I'd say Crossabeg were a bit upset he didn't go to the whistle, but listen, he wasn't interfering in play, so he should let the game go on. But no, it's a really good game now. It's come to life, and both teams, I think they've kind of really just said, lads, we're going to have to battle a bit harder if we want to win this.
Yeah, it was brilliant again by Aidan Nolan there. 2 balls in a row, he's after picking out great passes, and he just read the break really well back there. But yeah, you'd be hoping now that this isn't a serious injury to Peter, because I think he came from that tussle, from that big high ball that came in there that Paddy Foley ended up getting.
I actually thought I saw him limping a bit actually in that play, trying to, could be a dead leg maybe.
Yeah, they'll certainly be hoping he'll be okay.
Well, the helmet is back on and he seems to be ready to go again, and so too is the Crossabeg Ballymurn goalkeeper Noel Scallon. This poke out has a low trajectory and it's sent there, but Sean Kenny is the one to get to it and bats it down. Billy Kelly adds to it that time. Who's going to win the breaking ball? The 2 number 18s, Eddie Black and Bill Evanston, are there. The ball fell to Porrix in it, but he couldn't get it up first time, and now we have a battle for the ball on the ground. It's won that time and sent out towards Shane O'Rourke. Shot from Shane O'Rourke. He scored the previous point. It was a very good one, but that one has gone to the right hand side and wide. But there was some good work there by Crossabeg Ballymurn to set up the score. Paddy Devericks was the one who sent the final hand pass. And
Bunclody are going to have to watch Shane O'Rourke, because he's pushing up on Aidan Nolan, but when Aidan drops, he sits out the field, and he's getting on a lot of ball out there. So there just need to be someone from midfield or half forward line need to get back on Shane when Aidan drops back into the sweeper role.
A very good first touch that time by Eddie Black, and I think one of the Crossabeg Ballymurn defenders just hit him accidentally on the head. I think, but the referee,
I think it could have been maybe just in a handle of his hurl above his hurl, and it came down on the top of Eddie's head, and it was accidental, but it was kind of more, probably slightly dangerous. And listen, if you get bashed on top of your head, you probably deserve a free.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malicious intent or anything, but it's still a free, and it's going to be a chance for Bunclody to extend their lead now, JJ.
Yeah, and you'd say Crossabeg have had plenty of the play in that, but what were they 1-1 to no score ahead? And
they were, yeah.
they've only scored 4 points since then, and Bunclody now, if Billy puts this over after scoring 10, so and looking at the flags behind the goal there's a good breeze blowing towards the Clonard end. I don't think Crossabeg will be happy with the amount of scores they've got from the possession they've had. And like Billy Kelly, I saw him the first couple of days, and he was, for his standard, he was iffy enough with the frees, but he's absolutely brilliant on him there today, and if he's on him, Crossabeg will have to stop giving away frees.
That puck out didn't go to plan there, and Tygo Callig is the one to set Bunclody on the attack again. A hand pass inside by Peter Atkinson to Cathal Doyle. He's being pursued by Martin Redmond and Paddy Foley. Paddy Foley is the one to flick it away, and there's a chance of a clearance now, a very long clearance, but again there's Bunclody outnumber Crossabeg here, and Aidan Nolan looks to be the favourite to win that one. Hand pass outside to Sean Kenny. Sean Kenny has Colin Farrell outside him again, and Bunclody are playing this one well. A long ball from Colin Farrell. The ball is batted down by Edward Dunbar as far as Eddie Black. Eddie has a chance now to score for the halfway house Bunclody, but that one is going to fall short. Spilled by Noel Scallon, but he's under no pressure that time, and a clearance, chance of a clearance. Again is cleared down the throat of Aidan Nolan. And a well picked out pass to Cathal Doyle that time, but it was spilled by Cathal Doyle and kicked away by Seamus Carroll. Seamus has it up now and a chance to set Ballymurn on the attack again. And the referee is giving a free to Bunclody that time. It was more of a collision.
Yeah, I think he's unlucky to give away, but Crossabeg's use of possession the last since the water break has been terrible. I mean, Aidan Nolan is absolutely cleaning up back there because they're going long, and conversely, Bunclody are using the ball absolutely brilliantly, and bar a few slack touches in the half forward line, they could maybe have had another couple of scores there, but you can see some of the Bunclody shots they actually are holding in the wind, so maybe the wind is stronger than we even think it is out there.
This free is taken low, and Peter Atkinson is the target. He was down injured a minute ago, but seems to be up and ready to go again this time. Sidestep, a shot off the right hand side. It's not going to go wide, I think, even. And Kieran Regan and Declan Byrne are in a battle. It was flicked out by Declan Byrne that time, and at 65 now, Paul.
Yeah, 65, and the way things are going, Billy will flat this one over as well. But looking at it here live, you just can't get over Aidan Nolan's influence. They kind of curtail him for the first maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but since the water break, it's just a one-man showdown that end of the field. And no matter what Crossabeg Ballymurn do, they can't seem to get the ball away from him. And Aidan's basically, when he does get it, listen, he's hitting intelligent ball after intelligent ball in, and it'd be a joy to play as a forward with him hitting you the ball.
So there's 29 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes gone here.
Additional time, at least 4 minutes. At least 4 minutes additional time.
So we've just heard Seamus Whelan announce there'll be 4 minutes of additional time at the end of this half, as Billy Kelly now has a chance to put Bunclody into a 3-point lead. That's another point at 65 from Billy Kelly. That's his 8th point of the game. Bunclody's 11th, and they now lead by 3 points here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was another indication of ball holding up in the wind. That's 2 balls that are after coming and dropping in this corner here, and Bunclody have got a point and a free out of them.
Poke out again there is aimed towards Oisin Foley, but the ball breaks to the ground. It's back with Foley again now. There's a chance for Crossabeg Ballymurn here, and Oisin Foley a shot. That one's going to be low. It's a dangerous ball. Tony Murphy might have been in the square, but Niall Murphy is first to the break, and a shot and a goal for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and a goal for Niall Murphy. There was confusion in there, Paul, and it fell to the right man from Ballymurn's point of view.
Yeah, and I was only thinking in my head there, would you believe a minute ago, Crossabeg, they need a sneaky goal or lucky goal to get themselves back into this for half time. And listen, it was just the ball, maybe it was Tony's hurl has gone the way of the goalkeeper, and it's up in the net from Niall, and it's what they needed.
Puck out is on its way from Art O'Neill again. Conor Devricks is the one to win it for Crossabeg, but Pádraig Sinnott is there, and the ball breaks to Billy Kelly. He has Cathal Doyle outside him, but Cathal spills the ball. Shane O'Rourke is there, Martin Redmond is there, and the one to come away with it now is Conor Devricks. Devricks sends a hand pass inside to Paddy Foley, and a chance for Ballymurn to go on the attack again, get themselves back in the lead. Well defended that time by Martin O'Connor. There was a nasty slap on Aidan Nolan as he was coming out with that ball, and it's going to be a free to halfway house Bunclody. But JJ, Niall Murphy got a very important goal into that end in 2013 to set us on our way for under 21 titles, and he's got another one today.
He always claimed it, but I think it was the Kilkenny goalie that threw it into the net himself that night. But no, like Sean Kenny has done really well on Oisin Foley, but that particular occasion he batted the ball and then he raced at the man on the ball rather than sticking with Oisin, and then Oisin got in behind, and it's a very difficult ball for the goalkeeper. But I'd say it won't be long. Cathal Doyle is struggling up here in the forwards, and I'd say Wiley Connors, who came on the last couple of days and did really well, I'd say he could come on there in the second half.
That was a nasty slap that time, but the referee hasn't given any sort of a free, and the ball has been spilled out, and Declan Byrne is the one to collect it there. That was...
Yeah, I think it was Seamus. It was either missed time or whatever, but he'd be very lucky now that the referee didn't see it, because it was definitely a good second.
Well, Paul, I don't know how neither the referee or the linesman saw it, and also from up here it looked like the Crossabeg man carried that ball out over the line. He went to pick it up. He went to pick it up, and it was inside the field of play when he jab lifted it.
You know, I can't believe how it is a line ball for Crossabeg Ballymurn, or not a free for Bunclody.
Absolutely.
Well, a strange passage of play there, but Declan Byrne is the one to take the line ball, and the ball breaks as far as Bill Eviston there, and now Martin Redmond has it and set Ballymurn on the attack again. Ronan Devricks is there to get it for Ballymurn. He has his brother Paddy inside. The ball goes to Paddy. Tygo Callig is there pursuing him that time, but Paddy still has the ball up very close to the sideline there. Mark Byrne is also there for Crossabeg Ballymurn. The ball is now with the number 13. Hand pass from Mark Byrne back, but it's intercepted very well that time there by John Dunn and sent forward by Tygo Callig. Cathal Doyle is the one, but again the first touch just didn't quite come off, and there's plenty of space on this far side or this near side here for Crossabeg Ballymurn and Bill Eviston. He sends it forward. Martin O'Connor and Niall Murphy in a foot race. Both very fast players. Niall Murphy is the one to win the breaking ball that time. A shot from Murphy that's going to the left hand side and wide. And we've nearly reached the end of the 4 minutes injury time, and we have a level game, JJ.
We do, yeah, and I think Miley Connors is actually coming on here now by the looks of it. Yeah, listen, the intensity in it has really ramped. I mean, it was good in the first 15 minutes, but it's really ramped up in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Puck out now, finds Tygo Kelly towards the far side there. Oisin Foley is in pursuit of him, and there's a block down that time, but it only goes as far as Conor Crane for Bunclody. A long ball from Crane. Paddy Foley is there as the spare man. It's batted down, but Peter Atkinson, a great first touch to get it under control that time, but the second touch wasn't great, and the ball falls to Bill Eviston, and now the referee David O'Leary is blown for half time here in Chadwick's Wexford Park, and it's level game here. Halfway House Bunclody 11 points, Crossabeg Ballymurn 2-5. A very exciting game so far, Paul.
A really exciting game, and Crossabeg Ballymurn had the better just before the water break. Halfway House Bunclody definitely had the better of it since the water break, and so I said both teams will be going in quite happy that the match is level. As I said, Halfway House Ballymurn or Halfway House Bunclody probably a little bit upset about the way the goal went in, but it's a kind of saying to themselves, we've 11 scores, so they're 7, so just keep doing what we're doing, lads, we'll eventually get the result.
Yeah, I'd say there, and I think Paul called it earlier about Peter Atkinson. He just doesn't look to be moving as smooth as he normally would. He's after getting a couple of balls there, and normally we spoke about already turn and take the man on. He hasn't done there at the end. You know, Bunclody 11 points, and there's, you know, I think there's goals in Bunclody as well. But listen, it's a game that was hard to call to start, and it's no easier to call at this stage of the game. It's been a cracker of a first half, and I just hope the second half lives up to it. But Peter, you know yourself, last week against yourselves, Bunclody hurled really well in the first half, and then kind of maybe died off. Maybe they thought with a 10-point lead at half time the game was over. They certainly won't be thinking that today.
But the interesting thing, we brought that back to 4 points last week, but the man you just mentioned, Peter Atkinson, he won 2 frees in the space of about 2 minutes to bring it back to 6 points, and that was really the turning point where we had all the momentum, and just that little bit of clever play by Peter Atkinson brought the thing back in favour of Bunclody again and settled them down.
Yeah, 100%, and I definitely say that Bunclody's use of possession from the half-back line midfield is better generally than what Crossabeg's is, and when Crossabeg use it well, they're getting scores. But you know, 2-5 with a win like that, and you'd say 2 goals on the softish variety. I mean, they didn't have to do a great amount to score either. Like, one was a free that dropped short, just like the net. The other was, you know, again the full forward getting in the goalkeeper's eye line, and the ball broke out, and Niall Murphy managed to finish it. So, you know, outside of that, the 5 points, and maybe Paddy has got 1 from a free. I'm not sure, probably the other 4 from play maybe. So they've more of a spread of scores. Kieran Regan, I think Edward Dunbar, the only 2 to score from play for Bunclody. And what have they got? Maybe 8 or 9 frees, 8 frees. So, you know, Crossabeg need to cut out the fouls, because Billy Kelly, on the form he's on today, won't be missing them.
Certainly, I think Billy has scored 8 out of 8, but we have a very intriguing second half here in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final, and we'll be back in a few minutes for the start of that. And the two teams are back out in the field now for the start of the second half here. So we have a level game following that late goal in the first half by Niall Murphy, and there's one change on the Bunclody team. Number 21, as JJ predicted, number 21 Miley Connors is the one that's come in, and from what we can see I think it's number 15 Cathal Doyle is the one to make way, and the game is underway here, and it breaks there as far as Ronan Devricks, a shot forward by Ronan Devricks towards Niall Murphy, just falls out of Niall's hand that time, and Martin O'Connor is there to clear it for Bunclody. Flicked away that time by Shane O'Rourke, and Colin Farrell picks up the pieces for Bunclody. He uses the goalkeeper Arthur O'Neill, but that's not a great hand pass, and the goalkeeper's under pressure. The goalkeeper did very well that time. The clearance is very close to the sideline. Miley Connors is there, and so too is Paddy Devricks. Paddy is driving forward with it now and sends the ball forward there towards Shane O'Rourke. Back to Niall Murphy, a shot from Murphy, and a point for Crossabeg, Ballymurn, JJ.
Yeah, that was a really good score, and they worked that ball really well. And Shane O'Rourke obviously, saw the man in a little bit better position outside, and Niall Murphy is well capable of taking scores. So yeah, they worked that ball really well that time.
Broke out from Arthur O'Neill again. This is a higher one. Edward Dunbar is the target. Seamus Carroll is there. Paddy Foley is there, but the ball breaks, and Ty Kelly is the first one to win it there for Bunclody. The flick inside there towards Peter Atkinson. He's flicked as he was trying to get it up, but Atkinson has it the second time now in the shot. That one has gone left and wide, and Ballymurn have started this one well called. They're into a 1 point lead again now.
They are, and I don't want to be spying or anything, but I heard lots of shouts of Aidan Nolan from the Crossabeg Ballymurn management at half time, and I can see they put Rowan Devricks on him, and he's going to mark Aidan, I'd say, for the rest of the game.
That puck out was won on the break the second time by Oisin Foley, and send it back there to Conor Devricks. We have it now again, and it's with Martin Redmond who sends it forward. There's no one can quite lay claim to it yet. Martin Redmond is the one who has it and sent forward. It's a scrappy passage of play here. We can't quite see. Martin Redmond sends it back to Bill Evison, and Bill Evison sends the ball over. Niall Murphy has made a good run out in front of Martin O'Connor, but it just evades him that time. A low ball from Martin O'Connor forward. Tygo Callig is coming deep to try and get this one and relieve the pressure for Bunclody, but that's a miss-hit shot, and Bill Evison is the one who finds it there in the middle of the field. Hand pass across to Paddy Devricks. That shot is in around the square. Colin Farrell bats it down away from Tony Murphy, and a good flick from Farrell to get it further away from the goal. The pull was a little bit late that time. Niall Murphy has it. Chance now for Ballymurn again. Are they going to use the ball cleverly? There was just spilled that time by Ronan Devricks, and the move breaks down, but it's back with Devricks again. Back to Paddy. Shot from Paddy Devricks is very well blocked down by Tygo Callig that time. John Dunn now inside to Billy Kelly. Billy is going to charge forward at the Ballymurn defence. There's a chance now, and a shot from Billy Kelly, and a point for halfway house Bunclody, but that JJ all came from the great lockdown by Tygo Callig there.
Absolutely, some great defending by Bunclody there as well, but I tell you what, if this game keeps going at this pace, there'll be a lot of tired guys by the time this match is over, and again back all square to 6 to 12 points again.
There's a good battle. This battling is continuing here between Sean Kenny and Oisin Foley, and Seamus Carroll was the one who was fouled that time, probably twice, and a free in out to Crossabeg Ballymurn, but Oisin Foley and Sean Kenny is a battle that we're going to see plenty of under us here today.
Since the water break in the first half, Sean Kenny was really on top of Oisin, and it's because he's gotten really tight on him, and he's just getting the ball to ground, and obviously Oisin is probably Oisin and Niall Murphy are the two most dangerous scoring forwards that Crossabeg have. The other guys, they'll work really hard, they'll lay the ball off, but the natural hurlers, it will be Oisin and Niall, and if Sean can keep curtailing Oisin's influence out there, the half forward line, Bunclody will go a long way towards winning this game.
And the free now from Paddy Foley just inside the 65. There's plenty of jeering and shouting at him as he was taking it, but that didn't seem to hamper him, and that went over the bar, and Ballymurn are back into a 1 point lead now, Paul.
Yeah, they are, and David, which is probably not a bad thing, the referee David seems to have left his whistle in his pocket maybe, because other than that kind of high hit on Seamus Carroll, he's just letting the game flow, and listen, it's making a really good spectacle, Peter.
Puck out from Arthur O'Neill now again is a long one. Paddy Foley is the spare man back for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and the ball does break to him this time. A one-handed strike forward, but he just can't. The pick-up just went a little bit too far away from JJ, and it's a line ball now to Bunclody.
Absolutely, and Bunclody might just want to be a little bit wary about putting too many high puck outs down on top of Paddy. But no, as Paul says, like referee, in fairness, a lot of referees get I suppose criticising and that, but David is really letting the game go today, and it's not dirty. Like there's no dirty stroke. It's just high intensity.
The line ball there was trying to get the runner Billy Kelly, but it's intercepted by Mark Byrne and sent forward to Oisin Foley from inside his own half. Niall Murphy had the foot in the square there maybe, but Martin O'Connor caught it very well. Sent forward here to Aidan Nolan. There's a chance now to set Bunclody on the attack again. Tygo Callig is over the far side there. He's been everywhere around the place for Bunclody today, as he is most days. Miley Connors now has the ball for Bunclody. A low ball from Miley into Sean Kenny. Sean got 2 great points last week, and I think this could be his first of today. That was a very good score that time, JJ.
That's a brilliant score, and it all stemmed from a great interception by Martin O'Connor, and he's having a brilliant battle back there with Niall Murphy, and they worked up the field and didn't panic and got it to a man. There's Ty Kelly again with another brilliant block down and turning the ball over.
The 2 youngsters there, Tygo Kelly and Kieran Regan, are in around battling for this one for Halfway House Bunclody. There's no one has laid claim to it yet, but there's still a crowd there. Kieran Regan is the one trying to get it up that time, and he was fouled, and Kieran Regan has done very well, Paul, in this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, listen, he's really put his hand up in this game, is right. He just got in front there, and it's probably more of a technical foul. He kind of wrapped maybe the hurl around him. Probably listening to be disappointed to give that one away, but yeah, him, as I said, Peter seems to be maybe a little bit curtailed here at this end, but Kieran is definitely doing what's needed over the other side.
Yeah, it comes back though that again, another, as you mentioned already, Ty Kelly, he's after getting 2 absolutely brilliant blocks, and what that does to the guy that's striking the ball next time, maybe he rushes it, and instead of getting his head up and picking out a good pass, he's maybe rushing it forward. So that's unusual for Billy Kelly to miss. It was a difficult angle, but you'd expect some of his quality to come over the bar.
Yeah,
so it's still a tight game.
Still a level game here. There's 6.5 minutes gone in the second half here. The puck out is on its way. The ball breaks to the ground. Porrick's in it. Is the one to win it for Halfway House Bunclody. He had a top class game last week. Did very well to keep that one in play, but Mark Byrne is the one for Crossabeg Ballymurn to win it and send the ball in towards Tony Murphy. But again, it's very well read from the front by Colin Farrell. Aidan Nolan is there, and Tony Murphy is still there battling away for Crossabeg Ballymurn, but his Ronan Devricks is the one who sends the hand pass out to Shane O'Rourke. A shot from Shane O'Rourke and a point for Crossabeg Ballymurn.
Yeah, Shane seems to be staying out when it breaks for these ones. He's not really getting tied into it. Is that his second or third point? Second point. And yeah, he's when he gets the ball in that position, it's usually a point.
And the low puck out from Arthur O'Neill this time is sent over towards Edward Dunbar, but he's pursued hotly that time by Paddy Foley. There's a battle again for the ball on the ground. There's 4 men there. Maybe this might end up in the throw-in perhaps, because there's a man that's hit the ground now, and that's what the referee is going to do. But Paul, when mentors are telling underage backs how to defend, they're always saying get out in front of your man, get out. And Colin Farrell is giving a very good example of how to do that.
He is, yeah. At this level you have to play from the front, because you just can't give your man an inch, and listen, Colin's probably been hurling the right way for all his career.
And there was a foul over there on Mark Byrne by Tygo Kelly, probably in the soft category, I think, JJ, but it's going to be a free nonetheless, and a chance for Niall Murphy to get his first free.
I think he kind of ducked down, and he was maybe tackled high all right. But what I would say is, it's very noticeable. The windows are up ball. Bunclody are committing 3 or 4 guys to it. Crossabeg are maybe only committing 1 or 2, and then they have that man spare. If they win it, they have the man spare, like Shane O'Rourke was there to put the ball over the bar, and Bunclody maybe are getting too many lads dragged in on top of the ball, and you just want to maybe be a little bit more wary about that.
And this is the first free from within the Bunclody back half of the field, I suppose, for Niall Murphy to take a chance at the posts. But that one has gone to the right hand side and wide, and just before that free was taken, Crossabeg Ballymurn have made a change. Number 12 Jack Fortune has replaced number 13 Mark Byrne. Mark either scored a point or 1-1 depending on the result of the video later on, but Paddy Devricks is the one with the ball now, and a chance for Ballymurn to go on the attack again. They lead by a point here. Martin O'Connor has read that one very well. The tackle there by Bill Evison, but O'Connor did very well to evade it and send a hand pass to Tygo Callig, sent forward by Tyg, and he was fouled as he was trying to make a bit of room there, Paul.
Yeah, it was probably a reckless high challenge, and referee had to give it. But yeah, Martin has kind of given a bit of a masterclass the last few minutes now over, and there's probably a bit more space in the full back line, and listen, Martin's going to exploit that space. Even though he's a corner back, there's nothing he'd rather now than that space, because he's a fine athlete.
Yeah, he just moves, he glides over the ground and he covers it in, and he breaks out with it. And, I mean, he has the intercounty, he's trained intercounty there, so he has the physicality in that now. This would be a brilliant free from Billy, because it's twice as far out nearly as the last one that he missed.
strike is on its way, but it's gone over to the right hand side and wide, and we still have a very tight game here in Chadwick's Wexford Park as Crossabeg Ballymurn lead by 2-8 to 13 points. There's almost 10 minutes gone in the second half here. That short puck out just about finds Declan Byrne, who did well under pressure there that time, and a clearance now from Declan Byrne is sent forward. Aidan Nolan and Conor Crane are the ones there for halfway house Bunclody, and the hand passes inside to Colin Farrell. A long clearance from Colin Farrell is aimed towards Peter Atkinson and David Keogh. David Keogh had an excellent game last week, marking Podgedorn against Aldgate Glenbrine, and a clearance by Keogh now is sent forward towards Seamus Carroll. Seamus has Conor Devericks in loads of space here on the stand side here. Low ball in towards Ronan Devericks. There's a chance now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. There was a little flick on the helmet that time as the Bunclody player was trying to flick the ball away, but it sent over across the field to Bill Eviston and back to Paddy Devericks. The ball is spilled by Paddy that time, and there's two Bunclody men there, but he done very well to send the ball over to Bill Eviston. A shot from Bill Eviston and a great point from Crossabeg Ballymurn, JJ.
Yeah, absolutely. They worked it very well there, and I think Ronan Devericks is doing a very good job at tying Aidan Nolan up. Aidan's finding it very hard to get space in this half in comparison to the first half.
The one-handed swing was connected that time by Seamus Carroll, and it deflected the ball into the path of his colleague, but that clearance from Paddy Foley is a poor one, and Edward Dunbar is there to win it for halfway house Bunclody. He's under pressure now, and the hand pass finds Eddie Black. Pass from Eddie Black over towards Tygo Callig, who has time to take a strike maybe. No, he sends a scoop pass again to Billy Kelly, and it's spilled. Ballymurn are defending very intensely here around the middle of the field and putting Bunclody under lots of pressure. And it's Ronan Devericks comes away with the ball and sends a low ball in towards Niall Murphy. Niall is out in front of Martin O'Connor on this occasion, but again Martin O'Connor does very well for halfway house Bunclody, and is shown a very good corner back play there today, and that's a push in the back by Paddy Foley, and it's going to be a free out for Crossabeg Ballymurn following that foul on Peter Atkinson. But Martin O'Connor is given a lesson in how to defend and do the simple things right, Paul.
He is, because actually he might have been just slightly behind David that time, or sorry, Niall, but he just got the hurl away, and you expect maybe Crossabeg Ballymurn to say, listen, we have to keep the ball away from him and see if we can get some joy out of the other forwards. But definitely there's been a noticeable uptake again intensity now in the last couple of minutes, and mainly actually from the Crossabeg Ballymurn areas, players on the middle of the field. And yeah, Crossabeg Ballymurn's job of putting Ronan Devericks in on Aidan Nolan has really worked a treat. Listen, I'd say Aidan hasn't gone on two balls since half time, and listen, it doesn't make a difference if Ronan doesn't hit it too many as long as Aidan doesn't.
Yeah, I think Bunclody will be trying to get a little bit. I don't think they managed to get one ball into the corner to Kieran Regan in the second half, and we saw the danger and the trouble he was causing in the first half. And Crossabeg are getting on a lot of the breaks around their own half back line, middle of the field, and Bunclody are maybe overplaying it a small bit of time. So just to maybe get that ball in a little bit quicker into Kieran Regan, and he can cause trouble.
A long free from Paddy Foley is landing in around the danger area. Ballymurn got 2 goals this way in the first half. Aidan Nolan is the one to lay claim to it there for Bunclody, and he was fouled as he was coming out of it at that time, and it's going to be a free and a chance for Bunclody to send the ball up the other end. A good run out this time by Kieran Regan, and he's found that time by Aidan Nolan. A shot from Regan off his left hand side. He's scored 2 points already, but this one isn't as accurate, and it's gone to the right hand side and wide, but again shown for the ball very well.
He did well to get on it, but that's 3 or 4 wides now they've had from frees and play, and they need another score now. They're 2 points down as it is. They don't want to really concede the next score.
Seamus Carroll ran forward with that one there, but spilled it at the last moment, and we have a battle again for the ball on the ground. Martin O'Connor is there to kick it away, an excellent footballer. He's in the county senior football panel as far as I know, and Edward Dunbar is the one with it now for halfway house Bunclody. He has a chance to get away, but he won't get away too far from Paddy Foley. Hand pass back to Pádraig Sinnott, and a hand pass to Tygo Callig, and another pass out to Eddie Black. Eddie is under pressure there from Conor Devericks, but was he fouled? No, the referee is a play on. Sean Kenny is there. Devericks still has I think the ball was caught under his leg that time, and
I didn't think he made any effort to get off it though. I think that could easily have been a free into Bunclody with the rule that you can't be lying on the ball. Bunclody are just overplaying the ball though, Paul, aren't they? Like they're just I think he's dead right on that. The man went down on the ball, he had it in his hand, he went down, he lay on top and he made no effort to get off it. So listen, it's a harsh free, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, all those type of calls, Paul, are sort of judgment calls. And I suppose your man, Ronan Deverick, was lying on the ground and the ball was underneath him.
I suppose it was a double whammy because probably Crossabeg Ballymurn thought that he should have got a free in the first place, and that's what put him to the ground. But David is just not blowing for them ones today.
And Billy Kelly has a chance now to put himself into double figures, I think, for the day. That one is lift and strike, and it's on its way, and that's Billy Kelly's 10th point of the game, and the gap is closed now to 2-9 to 14 points. Only 1 point now in the game after 15 minutes here in Chadwick's Wexford Park. Puck out over the far side from Noel Scallon. There's 3 Bunclody men there, and one of them is Martin O'Connor, who wins the breaking ball and sends it back to Tygo Callig, who hand passes it to the main man Aidan Nolan. He's been quiet, as the lads have said, in this second half, but there's a chance for him now to go on a run. He's playing centre back, but is also a very good threat going forward. But that's not called a threat to anyone other than the precincts on our church, maybe.
No, he did well. He did well coming out with the ball and that, but they just have to maybe be a little bit more composed on it and stop the rash shooting.
This puck out finds Paddy Devericks. Paddy sends it forward. Horrocks in it, and Shane O'Rourke are there. The ball goes through as far as Colin Farrell. Colin a good sidestep to get away from Shane O'Rourke. Tony Murphy there got a half hook in, and Bill Evanston is the one with the ball now. A great backhand pass from Bill to Niall Murphy. If this goes over, it'll be on a Twitter highlights video, JJ, I think.
That was a Joe Canning classic anyway, and it was a brilliant ball back out to Niall. But Niall seems to have gone around the half-hour line midfield, and Martin O'Connor's gone with him, and it does take that bit of pace out of the Bunclody full-back line, so they'll have to be wary of that.
A 2-point game again as the ball falls to Billy Kelly. A shot from Billy Kelly and a point. An equally brilliant score at the other end of the field.
Yeah, it's hard to take your eyes off this one. It really has turned into a fantastic match. And yeah, listen, Billy Kelly is firing points over. He's missed 2 frees, probably a bit upset about that, but that made up for. That was a great point from play.
Yeah, he was quiet last week now, but he certainly really stepped up to the mark today, in fairness to Billy Kelly.
The referee, that puck out has been taken too quickly. Everyone is getting very excited here, but the crowd are all getting very excited, but there was no whistle, and the referee has called for the water break here as Crossabeg Ballymurn lead by 1 point, 2-10 to 15 points after 17 minutes here in Chadwick's Wexford Park, and we're in for a rip-roaring last quarter, I'd say, JJ.
Absolutely. I think Bunclody got a little bit lucky there, that the 2 guys going up for the same ball, and the Crossabeg man won it, and they were lucky enough that the ref had already blown for the water break. But you know, they'll want to be careful. Like, there's 1 point, 2-10 to 15 points now with only probably there's 17 minutes gone, so you're probably looking at 15 minutes left, including injury time when we get up and going again. And listen, we said at the start of the game it'd be tight, and it'll be a brave man to bet against extra time in this game, unless someone comes out in the second in the next 10 or 15 minutes and really puts the foot to the floor. And you know, Bunclody did really well after the last water break, and they'll be looking to do the same this time. But yeah, listen, there's pros and cons for both teams.
Yeah, and definitely Crossabeg Ballymurn have really tied up Aidan Nolan in this half. So JJ, if you were in that position where you're over just a half-house Bunclody and their main man is just being man-marked, do you take him out of there? Do you just say, listen, we're going to have to chance something, push him further up the field where maybe his influence, he can't be stopped as much? I just don't know. What would you do? Because he's not really dominant as anything was in the end of the first half.
No, he's not, but that being said, listen, there's only a point in the game. Their half forward line or not, like Ronan Devericks has been very influential over the last couple of games for Crossabeg, and he's kind of after forgetting about his own game to try and mark Aidan, so he's kind of taken over it. Sean Kenny has done a really good job on Oisin Foley, you know, so Niall Murphy is the real kind of danger in there, and Martin O'Connor seems to be doing a pretty good job on him. I'd be happy enough as, you know, defensively from Bunclody, they're going okay. Listen, if they go 2 or 3 points down, then maybe you need to push Aidan out towards middle of the field or further forward, but I think they'll hold as it is at the minute, because you know, it's nip and tuck. There's only a puck of the ball between it. Bunclody have had plenty of chances in the second half to just go between frees and play. They haven't taken them all.
Wexford Park is certainly the noisiest I've heard of this season, JJ, as the 2 teams make their way back out onto the field here for the final quarter of the game. It's Crossabeg Ballymurn 2-10, halfway house Bunclody 15 points. There's 13 minutes of normal time to play plus injury time. On the Bunclody team, they've scored 15 points. Billy Kelly is responsible for 11 of those, 9 frees, 2 from play. Kieran Regan has 2, Sean Kenny has 1. and Edward Dunbar has one. And on the Crossabeg Ballymurn side, we had a goal we weren't sure, but we think maybe Mark Byrne or Tony Murphy 1-1. Oisin Foley a point, Shane O'Rourke 2, Niall Murphy has scored 1-3, and Paddy Foley has scored 2 points, and Bill Evison has got 1 as the game is underway again. And Aidan Nolan is the one who wins the breaking ball. He's under pressure from Seamus Carroll there, but a great turn and a strike forward. Kieran Regan is the Bunclody forward in there. Can he get away from Declan Byrne? A flick from Regan, but it's good goalkeeping there from Noel Scallon. Noel sends it low here, and Oisin Foley has a chance now to run at the Bunclody defence. Conor Debricks is here in a bit of time and space. Conor sends the ball in low. He probably could have taken a shot there, but Tony Murphy and Colin Farrell battle away again. Colin Farrell has probably got the better of that so far, but time is still there for Murphy maybe to make his impression on the game. Seamus Carroll catches it there and sends it to Oisin Foley. Sean Kenny and Billy Kelly and Miley Connors are there, but Seamus Carroll he doesn't have it. It's Bill, and Miley Connors is the one to pick it up and send a ball into Sean Kenny, and those two players linked up for Sean Kenny's previous point, JJ.
Absolutely, and we said it there, like I think twice there Oisin probably should have shot. He passed the ball out here to Paddy Debricks, and he probably should have put the ball over the bar himself, and that's 2 points from your half back from Sean Kenny, and that just shows how he's having more of an influence going forward than what Oisin Kelly is, or than what Oisin Foley is.
There was a vigorous shoulder over there by Sean Kenny as I'm not sure who the recipient of it was, but it's going to be a free in now to Crossabeg Ballymurn, and we have a level game again, and we're really...
Yeah, listen, I'd say both teams have kind of traded, been ahead at this stage maybe 3 or 4 times, and yeah, Crossabeg probably overplayed a little bit in the middle of the field between the two boys, and I know maybe the direct ball isn't working either, but there's no point in maybe 2 or 3 passes across the middle either. They just have to maybe try to find someone else in the forward who's actually beating their man.
And Paddy Foley is going to take this free. It'd normally be Niall Murphy from the forwards end of the field, I suppose, but it's Paddy Foley who's going to take it now. It's on its way. It was hit very well, but it's hit inaccurately into the left hand side and wide, and we still have a level game here after almost 22 minutes, JJ.
Yeah, Niall had normally be taking a but like they're obviously into you look at the flags now, they're into a good breeze there, and the last one he hit from the 45 he had to force it. Niall would be more of a man that'd be 45-50 yards and in, so you'd expect Paddy to get that, but yeah,
Owen Keogh has just been brought in
for Tony Murphy a little bit, maybe a different challenge now for Colm Keogh or Colm.
A great catch that time by Miley Connors, and a send over the bar. That was a brilliant catch, and rightly so. The other Bunclody forwards are giving them great congratulations that time. That was a wonderful catch and a turn over the bar, Paul.
It was a great catch and a great point, and the problem is then he ran into a really heavy challenge from Paddy Foley, and listen, it was a tough belt after he hit the ball off. But yeah, listen, Bunclody really needed that, even though they were level. That was really an inspirational point by Miley.
Yeah, he got a big tackle. He's a light little player. Like, he's only a young man, and like, you stand beside Paddy Foley, you certainly do not want him running into you, because he could do awful damage to you.
Miley seems to be carrying the leg there, but maybe after a minute or so the pain of it leaves, and Noel Scallon is again with the puck out. It's sent over towards Oisin Foley, but it hits the ground there. Seamus Carroll and Billy Kelly were in a foot race, and Tygo Kelly again is the one to come away with it for halfway house. Bunclody sends a low ball into Sean Kenny. Sean has got 2 points already. He got 2 points last week. Great return from a half-back. Sent forward by Tygo Kelly there, and Paddy Foley is under it for Crossabeg Ballymurn. A long stroke by Paddy Foley in towards the new man, Owen Keogh. The ball is on the ground now. Ronan Debricks is trying to get it up there, but Conor Crane is the one to kick it away for Bunclody, and his hurl was being held as he was doing it, JJ, and a good decision by the referee. Yeah,
I was just going to say it. His hurl was being held, and it didn't look like he was going to get the free, but in fairness he did. Ty Kelly has really come into the game, and that's probably the first bad ball he played forward there on top of Paddy Foley, and they've used the ball really well in the second half, Bunclody, so they just need to not be panicking when they get on it now. When they see the finish line in sight, they just need to show that extra bit of composure.
Aidan Nolan with the free now. Again, Miley Connors is the target, but we can see that he is struggling with the leg there, and the ball breaks to Eddie Black. There was a flicked away there from Eddie, and it's David Keogh is there and Martin Redmond is there, but Keogh is the one to come away with it for Crossabeg Ballymurn, in low towards Shane O'Rourke. Conor Debricks can't get it under control. Can Edward Dunbar get it under control? No, Seamus Carroll is the one who gets it under control and sends it outside to Bill Evison. A low ball from Bill towards Owen Keogh. Again, brilliantly defended by Colin Farrell. And sent forward again. Eddie Black is in there, Paddy Foley is there, David Keogh is there. Paddy Foley is the one to come away with it for Crossabeg Ballymurn again. And this is towards the new man in, Jack Fortune. He was listed as number 12 but only came in the last few minutes, and there's another man that only came in the last few minutes, Owen Keogh. He missed his quarter-final through suspension, and that shot has gone over the bar, and we have a level game again, Paul.
Yeah, I think that's Owen Snow Keogh, I think, and listen, yeah, he's deadly dangerous when he gets the ball, and probably a bit upset he didn't start, but he was suspended early on.
That just shows the difference there, though, in the use of possession. I mean, Bunclody played a big high ball that went in on top of Paddy Foley, and he won it and came out with it, and then Crossabeg worked the ball up the field and worked into the corners, and Bunclody need to feed Kieran O'Regan in the corner, they need to feeding Miley Connors. They have to stop. I see Peter Atkinson's out wing forward now. They have to stop these big high balls down on Paddy Foley, because he's going to clean up all day on them.
And the man down injured, I think, is Edward Dunbar over there. He's being treated at the moment.
As I was saying, he was struggling with injury last week as well, and that's why he didn't start the game.
And just in that stoppage of play, number 20 for Crossabeg Ballymurn, Matthew Sludds has replaced number 4 Martin Redmond, and the game is on its way again, and Paddy Devericks is the one to catch that puck out from Arthur O'Neill, and he sends Ballymurn on the attack again. The ball comes off the hand of Owen Keogh and into the hand of Colin Farrell. Colin has cleared ball after ball here in the full back line for halfway house Bunclody, and Tygo Kelly is over this side now. That ball is half blocked and very bravely blocked by Bill Eviston. Shane O'Rourke has it. There's loads of Ballymurn men here, and Seamus Carroll is one. Seamus has a little bit of space here in the middle of the field. The ball is inside to Oisin Foley. Can Ballymurn get the score to put them into the lead? They can, and that's an excellent score, Paul.
Oh yeah, really well worked score, and as I said, Seamus and Oisin seem to be doing a lot of work together. It didn't work out for him a few minutes ago, but it definitely worked that time.
Yeah, Bunclody are not getting enough out of their half forward line here. Crossabeg have really gotten on top back there.
And Seamus Carroll, the one who set up that last score, selected at that time, but it was flicked away from him well by Peter Atkinson, and Declan Byrne has it now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Hand pass to Seamus Carroll. He's got on a lot of ball in the last few minutes. Sent forward here by Conor Devericks. The Bunclody men read it very well, and the one to clear it is Aidan Nolan again. A low ball towards Tygo Kelly, but he tried to catch it that time and just flicked away from it. Ball from Bill Eviston towards Ronan Devericks. Devericks couldn't just quite get that one into his hand, and Conor Crane is there to collect it for halfway house Bunclody. It's sent forward. A very exciting finish here. There's only 3 minutes of normal time left, plus injury time and water break time, and the ball there is with John Dunn. John sends a hand pass to Peter Atkinson, but he was standing still and probably wasn't expecting it. There's 4 Ballymurn men there, there's 3 Bunclody men. Oisin Foley has it now for Crossabeg Ballymurn. A long ball from Oisin Foley. Niall Murphy is making a run. Can Colin Farrell? A great catch by Colin Farrell in the full back line for halfway house Bunclody. Niall Murphy has been injured in that incident, and it's going to be a free for halfway house Bunclody, but that was a brilliant catch, JJ.
Well, I will say Colin Farrell has given an absolute exhibition of how to play a full back, both catching the ball in the air and breaking the ball out in front of himself, and just unbelievable there. But Bunclody's forwards, there's a couple of Mehdi Black, Eddie Dunbar, even Peter Atkinson, they look tired there. They're not really showing enough for the ball, and you know they're going to need another couple of scores here. And
2 minutes left of normal time, plus the water break time and injury time. Aidan Nolan, a free from his own half. He didn't quite strike it really sweetly, but it's still a dangerous ball. Who's going to win it? Matthew Sludds is there, and Paddy Foley is there. Paddy Foley is the one who clears it down towards Jack Fortune. Can Jack get the ball under control? A first touch keeps it in play. Conor Crane, who has also defended excellently for Bunclody today. Oisin Foley is trying to get it under control as well, but Aidan Nolan again is the one to come away with it for Bunclody. He was being held and his hurl was pulled out of his hand, and he was slapped again as he was trying to come away with it, and it's going to be a free to Bunclody, Paul.
Yeah, the ball was on the ground there for a few seconds, but listen, Aidan kind of took in charge and said, listen, I'm getting this out of here. They get away, got a little slapping.
This is a big free from Billy Kelly now. It's a long way out, but this is to tie the game up, and you know this can be a psychological boost or a psychological blow. So
yeah, listen, it's really got tough now and tense in the last few minutes. And I don't know, has Billy missed the last 2, or did he get the last one? I think I can't remember scoring one now in the last few minutes.
Play, certainly.
Yeah, from play, yeah.
He scored one from play, then he scored a free, and then he scored another one from play, and this free was struck very, very well, and that has gone over the bar. It's a level game again here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship. 12 to 18 points, level game and very exciting game here. There's 12 points now for Billy Kelly out of Bunclody's 18.
I tell you, lads, we could be here for another 20 minutes because there's nothing between these two teams.
Yeah, extra time. Just to remind viewers, of course, extra time is a possibility, and a penalty shootout is also a possibility. Can we see the puck out from Noel Scallon, batted down by Sean Kenny, but only as far as Paddy Deverix, and it's added to time. That time Sean Kenny has a chance. 2 minutes additional time. And Paddy Deverix sends it forward here to Bill Evison, back to Shane O'Rourke. He scored 2 points. A good ball inside. Niall Murphy has made a great run. A wonderful catch by Murphy. He scored 1-3. Hand pass back out. Shot by Jack Fortune, and that's gone over the bar. Ballymurn are into the lead again by 1 point, Paul.
Yeah, great catch from Niall. He just got inside the full back line there at Bunclody. Pass back out and a great point.
And the game is underway again. Billy Kelly sends it forward. The ball can't stick with Kieran Regan's hand, and Paddy Foley clears it for Ballymurn. Niall Murphy again is the target. Colin Farrell is there. Flicked away again by Colin Farrell. Probably man of the match, win, lose or draw, I'd imagine. Send inside to Aidan Nolan. Can Aidan set Bunclody on the attack again? Billy Kelly finds it here on his own 65. A shot from Billy Kelly is landing in, but I think it's going to land wide. It has gone wide, and there's only 1 minute left, and maybe only one more chance, JJ.
Yeah, they may get another chance. It might be time maybe to put Aidan a little bit further up the field, or Sean Kenny. And
I think Billy was actually trying to drop that one in. What do you think? It didn't look like he was really going for a point for me, Billy Kelly, that time.
Yeah, carried a long way.
Puck out from Noel Scallon. Batted down by Pádraig Sinnott as far as Eddie Black, but it's Seamus Carroll who wins it for Ballymurn and sends it outside to Shane O'Rourke. Shane, the ball inside, hesitation there by the Ballymurn player, and Tygo Kelly robs him. The low ball forward, Kieran Regan again is the target. Kieran has this one under control. Can he get his 3rd point of the game? He's able to get away from Declan Byrne. The shot from Regan is on its way, but it's gone to the right hand side and wide, and we have only 20 seconds of the 2 minutes of injury time left to play here. Crossabeg Ballymurn are in a 1 point lead.
Yeah, Kieran.
That was a real chance. It was a real chance. It was a brilliant ball forward to him, brilliant turn, and took it on. And listen, for a young man, he was brave to have a go at it, and just a bit unlucky.
Will there be one more chance here for Bunclody? The ball breaks to Martin O'Connor. Martin is at great pace, but he spilled it there that time. Under control again by O'Connor. Is he fouled? Ball inside to Sean Kenny. The ball just evades Sean Kenny and goes as far as Conor Deverix. Peter Atkinson has it now for Bunclody. Can Atkinson get his first score in the game at a vital time for Bunclody? A shot from Atkinson is... It's gone over the bar, and it's a level game again here.
I tell you, the umpire took a long time to put the flag up, but absolutely brilliant by Bunclody. Turned the ball over, and yeah, we're definitely going to extra time here. There's no way David O'Leary doesn't blow it up on the puck out.
Noel Scallon, puck out, another chance. There's no whistle yet. The ball is batted down. Eddie Black has it. There's a chop on him, maybe. No. Conor Deverix is blocked down. Eddie Black sends it forward towards Edward Dunbar. There's a chance for Bunclody to win the game. Is his hold being held? Is he being fouled? There's no free given yet. Peter Atkinson has it again. Flick outside to Billy Kelly. Billy has scored 12, but he couldn't get 13 that time.
Bunclody have men down all over the field.
There's men down injured everywhere.
Bunclody have 3 men down with cramp, and they're lucky the full-time whistle is gone.
After all that, we have extra time.
And 2 10-minute periods.
Where's the physio for us up here? Because I think I'm getting cramp as well.
That was an exciting 10 minutes of hurling you'd seen in a long time, JJ, wasn't it? It was fantastic stuff all around.
Absolutely brilliant. But what I will say is Bunclody, like the 3 lads down with cramp there, the Crossabeg guys are running to their management team. I don't know if Bunclody have much on the bench, but listen, it's probably going to be which team can cope with the fatigue better and which team maybe doesn't make the mistakes. But listen, normally it's forwards, and we normally look at forwards and midfielders or even halfbacks that makes a difference. But like Colm Keogh has just given one of the best exhibitions. Or Colin Farrell. Yeah. Well, sure, he's playing a bit like Colm Keogh yesterday. Colin Farrell has probably given one of the greatest exhibitions of full-back play I think I've ever seen in Wexford Park in such a big game. I mean, he's just been imperious back there, and lads, it's just been a tremendous game. And I think we called it beforehand, there wasn't going to be a whole lot in it, and there isn't, and there still will not be, I think, come the end of the game. It's how much recovery Bunclody can do now in this next couple of minutes before the game gets on again. And listen, they had their chances, did a couple of wides there. That ball, they just couldn't get into space. Peter Atkinson won 2 balls there, scored one, just was bottled up for the last one there. But I think, listen, I know it's a cliche, but probably neither team deserved to lose it in normal time, because both of them have contributed to an absolutely brilliant game.
And we were just speaking, Paul, while you went for the break in half time, myself and JJ were just speaking here, and we said that Peter Atkinson is the one that sort of steps up to the plate when it was needed. Last week when we were getting a little bit of momentum, it was Atkinson the one who won the 2 frees at the end of the game to set Bunclody to ensure their victory, and he's got them to draw here today.
Yeah, he probably didn't touch the ball for the 10 minutes previous to that, but listen, third minute of injury, or second minute of injury time, he did battle hard, he won the ball, and once you got in his hand, you kind of knew he was going to get a shot away. And listen, he's very experienced and he knows what he was doing up there. And yeah, listen, it was great. I suppose for both teams, listen, I can't say any time deserved to lose it, so the draw was a fair result. And it's going to be a lot now as into whose bench probably is going to be utilised again here. A lot of tired bodies at the end of that one. And it's listen, is somebody going to step up maybe from the bench, get a point or two, because you can't see any team really getting away in this one. This is just going to be probably tight all the way to the final whistle.
Yeah, I think because the fatigue is setting in, and you can't really, maybe a goal, an out scrappy goal or something like that could make the difference. But Bunclody haven't really had any goal threat today. That being said, neither really have Crossabeg. I know the fact that they got 2 goals, but they were of the softer variety, especially the first one. So yeah, listen, I'd say it'll be, you know, you just never know. Maybe one team can come out and just blitz the other in the first 10 minutes of this, but the way the game has gone, it's just been such intensity. It's, 60 minutes already. They're looking at another 20 now, and there'll be tired bodies by the end of this, and whichever of them gets through today, they'll have to do a lot of recovery by next weekend.
Yeah, and there's lots of recovery going on and preparations going on. There's physios flat out there for both sides, I think, trying to, but particularly on the Bunclody side, at the final whistle there, they had 3 lads down on the ground struggling with whether it was cramp or muscle injuries or whatever it was, but they certainly gave it their all, and so too did Crossabeg Ballymurn, Paul.
Yeah, listen, both teams, they can be proud of whatever happens here. They can be proud of their performances. No team, listen, the battle, but as in the way a sport goes, there's only going to be one winner. And listen, I tried to call it. I said maybe Crossabeg by a point. JJ went the other way around. I think Peter said it was going to be a draw. Maybe he didn't, but I'd say that he can say now that it was going to be a draw. So listen, I can't call it from here, but whoever wins it, I just hope it's won by the team that deserves it. It's not a scrappy goal or a stupid incident that decides this one.
I did predict one of them to go to extra time, but I can't remember which one it was. I hope it was this one.
Go ahead, Peter. You might as well pause after giving you the credit. But the other thing is, and I know it's only a small thing, but Bunclody played last Sunday evening. They had a day less recovery maybe than what Crossabeg had as well. So maybe that comes into it, but. It's been a fascinating game. I just think I have to give credit as well to Sean Kenny. I mean, he was really struggling there in the first 15 minutes. And in fairness to the Bunclody mentors as well, they trusted him and they left him on Oisin. But once he got really tight on him, I think he's after dominating that battle in the last 45 minutes of the game. Oisin certainly had the best in the first 15, but I think Sean has dominated and topped it off with 2 points from play himself. And they're going to need the likes of Sean. They're going to need the likes of Aidan, Billy Kelly, Peter Atkinson, if they've anything left in the legs to step up. And if they've something on the bench, at times maybe they may not be the quality of the guys around the field, but I think fresh legs could really add to it. And another guy maybe that they may need to operate a little bit further up the field is Martin O'Connor, because he just looked like a Rolls Royce there in the second half of the game. He was flying up the wing, and he has the energy, he has the fitness levels, he has the pace, and he could be someone maybe out in the half back line out towards the middle of the field. And one team is maybe going to have to throw caution to the wind and go and win this thing, and rather than waiting for the opposition to make a mistake, go and grab it by the scruff of the neck. And maybe a goal and a point in the first half of extra time could be the winning of this game. And
just in terms of the few extra time regulations, teams can line out whichever, they can make as many changes as they like between now and the start of extra time, so they can line out a whole new 15 if they want, or make 3 or 4 or 5 changes if they want, and then they can make a further 3 substitutes during the course of the extra time periods. And yellow cards don't carry over anymore. That rule was changed a couple of years ago, so it'll be interesting to see, Paul, if either team decide to make a few changes, judging by maybe a few lads that were a bit leggy towards the end.
Yeah, listen, I know it's probably the shortened nature of the championship that this can happen, but listen, it really suits the teams with the really big benches. And I suppose both teams, their second team is not playing at a substantially higher level than each other. So realistically, there shouldn't be too much in it. As I said, if Owen Kelly probably was on the field, if they had one more substitute, he'd be the ideal one. But listen, they have what they have. But no, you'd imagine they'll probably stick with near enough what to finish the game with. But they definitely won't finish the game with what starts here in this period of extra time.
Yeah, I think this may be where that having to name the 24 now because of the COVID regulations, and that may come into it, that they don't have the big numbers. Possibly Cathal Doyle could come back on. I know he struggled in the first half, but he has been very good for Bunclody over the last couple of years. He would add that little bit of extra legs and a bit extra life in there as well. So he may be a possibility to come back on for Bunclody in extra time.
And in normal, as you said, in normal years, JJ, you could have 32 or 3 players togged out and named in your panel. And a lad that you mightn't dream of playing under normal circumstances might be the ideal lad to bring you on in a particular circumstance when a game goes to extra time, whether it's to win a high ball or whether it's to put a free over the bar.
Yeah, like absolutely. And a lot of people think that's your name in 24, but I know from being involved in county teams that where you're only allowed to pick 24, and often one of them is a sub goalie, so you're left with 8 outfield players then to cover all positions from full back line to full forward, and it is an awful lot harder to pick 24 than you think it is as well. And I know I see on the list there today Crossabeg of 28 named, but I'm presuming they're only allowed to put 24 of that on the official team list, and those are the only guys that are allowed to actually come on today. So it'll be interesting now to see what does happen and how well the Bunclody, like there was 3 guys down at the end of normal time with cramp, and to see how well they have recovered in that maybe 5 minutes that they've had there now. So looks like Bunclody, they're going to play like they did in the original game.
Crossabeg actually won the toss. Crossabeg Ballymurn won the toss, decided to play just say with the slight breeze in the first half of extra time here.
Probably looking to build a bit of a lead and then hold on to it and either team try to maybe fall over the line at the end of it, because this is going to be it was a battle up to now, and it's going to be one hell of a battle for the rest of the next 20 minutes.
And the game is back on again, and Oisin Foley is the first one to win it for Crossabeg. Ballymurn sends a hand pass over towards Paddy Devrickson, a low ball in towards Owen Keogh. Owen is being pursued by Colin Farrell. Half blocked that time, but the ball goes as far as Jack Fortune. Fortune is hooked by Porrickson at that time, but has the ball again a second time. There's loads of Bunclody defenders there, and a clever ball back out to Paddy Devricks. Paddy, a good sidestep and a shot, but that one has gone to the left hand side and wide. Maybe that was why he was keen to set up other people earlier on in the game.
And Crossabeg Ballymurn had 2 loose men this side of the field, and listen, Paddy's vision should have looked over here and passed one of them. It probably would have been a certain point, but in these extra time periods there's usually very few scores, and every score is nearly worth double. And
just to mention for anyone that's not familiar, the periods are 10 minutes, both 2 halves of 10 minutes. As that puck out finds its way to Porrick Porrick inside to Aidan Nolan. Aidan has time to take a look up the field, and Kieran Regan is the target. It bounced out of hand of Kieran Regan that time, and Declan Byrne is the one who cleared it there. Good catch by Oisin Foley. He's under pressure by Tygo Kelly. Bill Evanston is right here at the sideline. Half blocked in towards Martin O'Connor that time. Martin had a very good finish to the second half. Hand pass to Billy Kelly. The shot is just hanging a little bit. This is a dangerous ball. The goalkeeper just ran out underneath it and it was missed, and it's a goal for Bunclody, pulled on by Miley Connors, and a goal. An awkward ball for the goalkeeper, but it fell the way of Bunclody and Miley Connors, and they go into a 3-point lead, JJ.
Absolutely, and I think it's an indication. The same thing happened with Bunclody in the first half. That ball held up in the air, and Noel Scallon is absolutely brilliant in the game, but I think he thought it was coming further, and he committed to coming, and he kept coming, and I think Peter Atkinson pulled on it and went across, and Miley Connors was there to finish it to the net, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. Again, Martin O'Connor got out in front to win the initial ball here, and Aidan Nolan put a good ball into the corner. So listen, that's a big score, lads. 3 points is a big score to get back.
And just in relation, as JJ just said, the goalkeeper probably thought initially that was nearly going to land on the line, and it just held up enough that it sort of dragged him out. And
he kept on chasing his line. Eventually then he was probably on the 14 really in no man's land, and he couldn't really even get a hurl to it, and all of a sudden he was out of play. But it's one of them months where you commit, as you know, Peter, you kind of have to go, because otherwise you're just standing there looking, I suppose, in no man's land. But no, it was probably the first high ball has probably been into him against the wind in 40-50 minutes, just didn't judge it good enough.
And the ball, fortunately, from a Bunclody point of view, landed right perfectly for Miley Connors to get the pull on at that time. On another day it could have landed and a Ballymurn lad could be lifting it and clearing it out the field, so the type of breaks you might need.
Absolutely, but I've always said though with corner forwards it's only perfect if the corner forward has gambled, and Miley Connors gambled on a ball, and good forwards and good corner forwards in particular will always gamble, and 9 times out of 10 maybe the ball doesn't come and no one notices you're there, but when that ball breaks, like if he, oftentimes they'll stay out of the play, but you gamble in behind. He did, got the lucky break, and listen, put it in the back of the net, and it's probably been 3 scrappy enough goals there, but both teams would take another scrappy one if they could get it.
And Noel Scallon is up again. He received attention after that incident that time and ready to go again with the game. The ball nearly evades everyone, and it got as far as Owen Keogh, but it was kicked by Aidan Nolan and cleared by Billy Kelly as far as his opposite opponent, Seamus Carroll. A shot off his left from Seamus. The goalkeeper at the other end is off his line, but that one has gone harmlessly from a Bunclody point of view to the left hand side and wide.
Yeah, was it David Murphy? Did he come? Because I know he's in there now in the full forward line. Number 5. Yeah, so did he come on, do you think, at the start of extra time? I didn't see him during the course of the 60 minutes.
He must have come in at the break and played David Murphy, number 5 for Crossabeg Ballymurn, as Oisin Foley has it now, and the shot is on its way. I think it's very accurate and good. The goalkeeper taps the crossbar and it's back to a 2-point game.
Yeah, lovely score by Oisin. He's getting a little bit more space there again from Sean Kenny, so again Sean needs to tighten up, but that was a great score from Oisin, and badly needed just to settle Crossabeg down, because they're not out of this game by a long way.
And it was David Murphy has replaced Shane O'Rourke, as that puck out did go astray, but it was redeemed, and Bunclody are on the attack again. Kieran Regan is the one that's out in front of Declan Byrne, and he's managed to turn Byrne now, and there's a chance for Regan. Comes inside on his left hand side, and he's just dragged down by Seamus Carroll there that time, and I think he should have no complaint. I think he's making a complaint, but he shouldn't have any JJ, I think.
No, because the corner back there, Declan Byrne had a couple of slaps at Oisin, and he gone past him, but Bunclody got lucky, and Bunclody have gotten lucky twice with puck outs there in this first period of extra time. But Kieran O'Regan, when they can get the ball into him, he really is, like we saw it. Okay, he missed the point at the end of normal time, but he is causing havoc when he gets a chance, and he's direct running there. So again, you'd expect Billy to put this over to restore the 3-point lead.
And he has done just that. We're back to a 3-point lead. 13 points now for Billy Kelly. I think I'll count him up when I get a chance. Noel Scallon with the puck out again for Crossabeg Ballymurn. There's a bit of space here for Jack Fortune to run into, but the ball is spilled there. Pádraig Sinnott is there for Bunclody around the ball, and there's a crowd and a battle for it now. Eddie Dunbar is trying to kick it out into a bit of space, but no one can lay claim to it yet. And the referee David O'Leary has decided to throw in the ball. Yeah, 13 points for Billy Kelly, 11 frees, 2 from play, and the 2 number 9s are in for the throw-in ball, and the ball breaks to Paddy Devricks. Sent forward by Devricks in towards Owen Keogh, but again Colin Farrell is the one to tap it away. Sean Kenny wins the breaking ball to set Bunclody on the attack again. Miley Connors and Matthew Sludds are there battling for Edward Dunbar has it now. One-handed strike in towards the full forward line, but Paddy Foley reads it well for Crossabeg Ballymurn, a chance to set them on the attack at the other end of the field. There was a foul on Paddy Foley as he was coming out, and I think the referee is going to award Crossabeg Ballymurn a free, Paul.
Yeah, I didn't kind of see that one, to tell you the truth, but I think Paddy maybe knew it was a free coming, because he just kind of hit in a kind of a half a 50-50 aimless ball, but I still think Crossabeg Ballymurn is struggling big time up in the full forward line. At some stage Paddy's going to probably have to go up there.
Well, he's taking a free now at the moment from his own 45. It's struck very, very well.
He has the distance and he has the accuracy.
A monster score from Paddy Foley there from his own 45, and Crossabeg Ballymurn closed the gap now to 2 points. That's Paddy Foley's 3rd pointed free of this game.
Number 18, Eddie Black, has been replaced by number 16, Conor Hendrick.
And Conor Hendrick is coming in now. He started the first game, I think, for Bunclody, and he's replacing Eddie Black. Yeah,
Eddie was down with one of the players that was down with cramp there, I think, at the end of normal time. So, yeah, fresh legs is important now in this.
The puck out is aimed over the far side. Tygo Kelly got a hand to it and managed to get enough on it to get it to Pádraig Sinnott. It's flicked away from the hurlers in at that time, and it's going to be a line ball to halfway house Bunclody over the far side.
Yeah, Ty Kelly really punches above his weight. I mean, the size difference between him and Paddy Levick's there, but he still got his hand on the puck out and managed to break the ball to a teammate. So
there's almost 8 minutes gone here in the first half of extra time in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final. Halfway house Bunclody 120, Crossabeg Ballymurn 215. The line ball is taken by Billy Kelly. It's taken down by Kieran Regan, and it breaks as far as Paddy Levericks. Paddy was pushed in the back, and it's going to be a free.
Yeah, Paddy's coming out with a lot of the balls now. Paddy's coming out with a lot of ball that end of the field, but it's just they're struggling to convert any of these chances into scores at their end.
This will be a dangerous ball now. Judging on the last one, this could drop into square very easily from Paddy.
He's only 10 or 15 yards further away from the goal as he was. It's maybe not quite as well struck, but again, it's going to land in the danger zone. The ball breaks. Owen Keogh has it. The hand pass inside, pulled on by David Murphy, and a goal for Crossabeg Ballymurn. A great goal by the substitute David Murphy there for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Right place, the right time, similar to Miley Connor's goal, JJ.
Absolutely, yeah. Another what you'd call of the scrappy variety, but yeah, listen. Owen Keogh won it well there, in fairness to him, and played the ball in, and you know, the right man in the right place, and finished another ground strike to the goal. But point in it now again. Billy Kelly will probably get the equaliser here now.
The ball has found Billy Kelly. The shot from Billy, is it going to just go over? It's not. It's in the hand of the goalkeeper Noel Scallon. He caught one under the crossbar in the first half. Billy Kelly is down with cramp. Bill Eviston has the ball now. We're in for a very exciting finish here as we approach the half time here in extra time. Owen Keogh has it again. Blocked down by Colin Farrell. Sean Kenny is trying to get it up. He has it up. Hand pass inside to Pádraig Sinnott. And forward now to Colin Farrell, who's a little bit further away from the goal than he has been at any stage. Peter Atkinson and David Keogh in a foot race. It's won by Peter Atkinson there. Very well collected, right, very close to the ground. Inside to Billy Kelly. Billy is up after the cramp. A shot from Billy Kelly has gone over the bar, and it's a level game again here, JJ.
Well, I tell you, that was absolutely brilliant work. First of all by Sean Kenny back here, but by Peter Atkinson, and he picked out the pass to Billy. And as you say, Billy had spent 30 seconds on the ground and cramp, and he just stood up and got the ball and put it over the bar.
Forward off his left hand side. Owen Keogh is the favourite again. He's tripped. I think maybe it was an accident. The referee waves play on. Colin Farrell has a chance to clear it now for Bunclody. A race between Kieran Regan and Declan Byrne, but the ball wins the race to the sideline, Paul. We're in for some finish.
Yeah, Crossabeg Ballymurn not happy with some of the decisions that are kind of not going their way. I think Owen Keogh actually got injured that time when it was an accidental clash in knees or legs, I don't know, but
I think it's one of those ones, Paul, where he ran across Colin and he clipped his heels, and listen, you'd expect to get it, you'd be given out if you weren't getting a free for it, in fairness to it, and the Crossabeg ones are supporters are certainly giving out about it here. But
that line ball sent forward by Paddy Foley. It's intercepted by Aidan Nolan, that time very well by halfway house Bunclody. Nolan is trying to jink and turn to get away, but there's 4 Ballymurn there to 3 Bunclody men. There's 2 of them ended up on the ground, and I think the referee has made the sensible decision to throw in the ball. The referee's had a fairly decent game, Paul, I'd say.
He has. There's been no really one standout moment that you can say, yeah, he got that one wrong, and no, listen, you definitely, if you lose this one, it's not his fault.
Yeah, I think Aidan hesitated a little bit on the ball that time, and
there was a throw in that time there. Niall Murphy pulled on it, and the Bunclody man didn't pull on it and got hit, and there's going to be another throw in. I don't mind that, actually, JJ.
No, but Aidan Nolan got sent off in the Super 11s in New York last year, or Boston, for doing exactly that.
Yeah, no, I one thing that really frustrates me, Paul, is when one guy pulls in the throw in and
the other fella sticks the leg over,
the other fella sticks the legs in, and the lad who sticks the leg in gets the free.
Yeah, well,
no.
It's called a clash ball, and you shouldn't be putting the leg in there, and I agree 100% with you, Peter, but it's one of those that's maybe inconsistent to referee, but I agree that was the right decision there.
Yeah, and we have half time here now. The crowd is absolutely, it's very, very noisy here in Wexford Park. The scoreline is halfway house Bunclody 121, Crossabeg Ballymurn 315. I think the last time JJ Crossabeg Ballymurn played in a drawn or a semi-final that went to extra time, I was actually playing in myself, it was 2017. We went about 4 points clear, and Crossabeg Ballymurn pegged us back, and Paddy Foley scored a free from the 21-yard line, and they're playing into the town end, which they'll be doing again now in this half. He scored a free with one of the last pucks of the game to win by a point. St Anne's went on to beat him in the final then.
Don't be telling Bunclody things like that. But yeah, listen, Bunclody now are turning around. They're going to be playing with the wind. I think Aidan Nolan is going to be the big player for them in this half. He's been relatively quiet since the first half. He's gotten on it, but that being said, Crossabeg have done a good job on it, particularly Ronan Devries has cut out the space he's been getting into. But him, Sean Kenny and Billy Kelly, if he can recover, the three of them, they're big players for them. And listen, there's no team is going to score 5, 6, 7 points in the second half. It's maybe, do they get another lucky break? Do they maybe, like, by the looks of it, David Leary's you're not going to get any soft frees, and in fairness, you'd expect that at this stage. You don't want any game decided on maybe a soft free being given to either team. So it's going to be hard earned. And listen, whoever has drawn up the list for penalty takers for both teams, I think they conceivably might need to get the pen ready.
Paul, who's going to win this game now?
I still have a sneaky suspicion that Crossabeg might come through here. I just wasn't very happy about maybe Bunclody's body language when they come off there. There's 5 or 6 people could hardly make it down for the water break. Talk about come back out and have 10 more minutes. They really are struggling. There's fellas holding calves and hamstrings, and I just think Crossabeg, maybe Ballymurn's condition just looks that bit better. Now, in saying that, Bunclody will have whatever wind there is, but I don't know. I just think maybe Crossabeg Ballymurn's condition is a slightly bit better, and I think that's going to be maybe more important here now than actual just a skill in this match.
And both teams scored 1-2 in the first half of extra time, wasn't it? It was 19 points to 2-13 at the end of normal time. So both teams scored 1-2. Yeah,
they're getting Owen Keogh on a good bit of ball now, and listen, Colin Farrell is still doing absolutely brilliantly on him out there, but they're kind of pulling the ball rather than putting the high ball down on top of them. They're kind of, the last couple of balls that played in front of me was very unlucky not to get a free there that last time. So listen, Bunclody, I still think Bunclody maybe get a couple of balls to. We've seen what Kieran Regan has done, and he still looks full of life in there, and if they can get a couple of more balls into him, he has the beatings of the corner back, and if he can either win the free or put the ball over the bar, it's a very, very tough one. I'm still going to stick with Bunclody. I don't see any reason. I called it at the start of the game. There's no real point of changing at this stage. So.
And Peter, you said penalties actually very started. It wasn't a draw. You said all the way to penalties. So a very good call.
We'll wait and see now. It'd be very exciting to see a penalty shootout. But if I was like, one thing about the penalty shootouts, I thought that referees, it'd be a new thing for a referee as well, and he'll have to make sure that he gets all there's all different nuanced rules and things that have to make sure to be done right, or else there'll be stewards' inquiries afterwards. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's a bit of pressure for the referee.
Yeah, what I will say, I think it's a better idea than the 65s. I was actually involved in the 65 shootout in the Walsh Cup last year, or the year before, whenever it was against Kilkenny, and we were allowed to stand out in the middle of the pitch that day, and even at that you were finding it hard to see was the ball going over the bar or not going over, and now we're being told that it's only going to be the lads that are taking it, so everybody else is out on the sideline, and you don't know, and for me it's too much pressure on umpires as well for a ball maybe that's right over the top of the post. So it's fairly clear cut on a penalty. It's either in the back of the net or it's not, other than the one that Bart Fanning scored. I think it was against Offaly down here where he stuck it in the top corner and it came back out off the stanchion, but I think we'd be able to spot that today.
I think one of the other reasons I think one of the reasons that it was changed as well is, like, if you had a Junior B game and you were taking 65s, you could be there all night before lads had scored maybe, whereas a penalty is more likely to.
I think what actually happened was, I think it was an inter-county game in a Byrne Cup, and it was 45 from football, and I think only 3 out of 10 managed to get the ball to the goal, so they went for penalties then. It showed up that it was really exciting, and they decided, well, shall we go with penalties and hurling as well. And
the ball is thrown in again.
Another one of those throw-ins.
Foley is the one to win it. There was a very high tackle there by Kieran Regan. I don't think he deliberately tried to get him around the neck, but he did get him fairly high, and it's going to be a free now to Crossabeg Ballymurn, Paul.
Yeah, and listen, I think David, maybe he didn't kind of throw it in among two players, and probably Bunclody wouldn't be very happy. That one went straight to Oisin from the throw-in, but then Kieran did hit kind of a slightly high tackle, was a deserved free, and this will be a great fill-up for Crossabeg Ballymurn and for Paddy if he gets this one.
Just the substitute that Bunclody made there at half-time. Kevin Dunn is in for John Dunn. Paddy Foley takes the free from just about the middle of the field. He was nearly standing on the midfield line there, and that one has gone over the bar. And Ballymurn lead by a point again in this topsy-turvy game. Arthur O'Neill now again with the puck out. It's sent over the far side. Added to Conor Hendrick, tried to add to it there, but Bill Eviston caught it very well and sent a hand pass to Oisin Foley. Was his hurl being held? There's play on. There was no soft freeze given today yet so far. Oisin Foley has a chance now for Ballymurn off the hurl. A lovely strike and a lovely score. That's Oisin Foley's 4th point, JJ.
Yeah, you talk about big players standing up when your team needs you. There's Oisin now. He'd have to win the free and he's after scoring the point, and it puts him two ahead. And you know, he's been subdued enough for a lot of the game, but he stood up when his team badly needed him.
Kieran Regan nearly had that one up for Bunclody there, but Jack Fortune also nearly had it up for Ballymurn. He has it the second time. Peter Atkinson was there, Kieran Regan is there, and the ball falls to Pádraig Sinnott. It was a late tackle on Sinnott that time, but Bunclody still have it with Kieran Regan out to Sean Kenny, a low ball towards Billy Kelly, but it evades Billy. I think Billy was down with a cramp. I think the ball is going to have to be into his hands before he'll be able to do too much maybe, but Kevin Dunn couldn't quite get it away, and Billy Kelly sends it forward back to Kevin Dunn again. Kevin is hooped there by David Keogh. There's some tight play across near the sideline there. Declan Byrne has it now for Crossabeg Ballymurn and send in towards the last goal scorer, Niall Murphy. David Murphy, I should say. Aidan Nolan has it now for halfway house Bunclody and sends a low ball in towards Edward Dunbar, whose legs are going to hold up the best now at the end of this game. We've played over 70 minutes here, maybe even nearly 80 minutes. Paddy Foley clears it. Owen Keogh and Colin Farrell are there. Farrell does well again, but only as far as David Murphy. A shot from David Murphy is blocked down brilliantly by Conor Crane. Arthur O'Neill is out off his line. David Murphy is there again for Ballymurn with a good sidestep by O'Neill. Sent forward. Paddy Foley is there, a spare man for Crossabeg Ballymurn again, but it doesn't go into his hand. It lands there. Matthew Sludds has it now for Crossabeg Ballymurn and outside to Seamus Carroll. Paddy Devrick's a clearance. There's 4 Bunclody men against 4 Ballymurn men. Who's going to get the better of it? Aidan Nolan has it now. He's under pressure from Owen Keogh. Nolan has Art O'Neill off his line over the far side. Tygo Kelly gets further forward down the line, but a side step from O'Neill. Niall Murphy tried to flick it away but couldn't get it. A long relieving clearance now from Arthur O'Neill. Again, there's a surplus of Ballymurn men there. The ball breaks to the ground. Billy Kelly has it under control now for Bunclody. He's under pressure from David Keogh and it's spilled forward. Seamus Carroll is there and Bill Eviston is the one to come away with it. The hurl was lost and Oisin Foley has it now. A great flick over the head of Tygo Kelly by Oisin Foley that time. He scored 4 brilliant points and inside now to Jack Fortune. Snowy Keogh is well off his man here, has a little bit of space, but the fumble initially now gave Aidan Nolan a chance to close the gap. Martin O'Connor, good defending there out to Colin Farrell. Flick forward by Colin Farrell to Pádraig Sinnott. And inside now to Kieran Regan. He's playing in a deeper role since the start of extra time. That ball is sent forward but is mishit and it's best read by Declan Byrne by Crossabeg Ballymurn. Paddy Devricks finds himself in loads of space here on his own 65. Niall Murphy has got inside Martin O'Connor. There's a chance here for Crossabeg Ballymurn. A shot from Niall Murphy and a point for Crossabeg. And they've gone into a 3-point lead now, Paul.
Yeah, listen, I think Crossabeg Ballymurn, they're defending really deep, right? But they're actually, when they do get the ball, they're probably that little bit sharper in the attack and they're playing the ball around a bit better, I think, JJ. I mean, they're holding on to it better. Yeah,
there doesn't seem to be much of a semblance of a game plan. Bunclody are just going along with it. I think you hit the nail on the head at half time in extra time, Paul. The conditioning of Crossabeg looks a lot better, and also the impact off their bench. Both Jack Fortune and Owen Keogh and David Murphy have all made a real impact since they've come in. And yeah, listen, they're using the ball that little bit better. Oisin Foley has had a great start to this second period of extra time. And
yeah, Oisin's been really the main man for Crossabeg Ballymurn in this last period of extra time.
Bunclody were trying to bring in a sub there, but not in time enough, and the game is underway again. That puck out falls to Tygo Kelly. He's under pressure from Ronan Devricks, but there's a chance now for Tyg. He's hooked brilliantly by Paddy Foley there. Bunclody need to give him options here or he'll be under pressure. There's a shot from Tygo Kelly right near the sideline. That's gone over the bar and there was a 2-point game again. That's really an excellent score.
That's a brilliant score. That's a brilliant score. I think Bunclody is time now to maybe push Aidan Nolan on because there's 5 minutes and I think to win it they're probably going to need a goal.
That was a really exceptional score. Like Paddy and I think was a Conor Devricks, both of them chasing him down and had to turn left, turn right and hit it from underneath the stand over the bar.
He's shown great heart there today. He has never stopped from the minute and that's all his game is. He'll go all day.
5.5 minutes gone here in the second half of extra time in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final, and Oisin Foley has a chance to get his 5th point of the game. The umpire has signalled that one early on. That's his 5th point of the game. Ballymurn go back into a 3-point lead now, Paul.
Oh man, absolute great, because that was a tough sharp hook out, and he won it among two Bunclody fellas, turned and Sliss left bowling for dead, and a great point.
That hook out was too close to the sideline, and Ballymurn now have a line ball. They're turning the screw a little bit.
They are, yeah, and as I said, like Oisin Foley has just turned this game on its head nearly on his own there at the start of this second half. 2 points in play, a free one, and
that line ball was taken quickly and sent forward with Porrick in, and intercepts it for Bunclody. The hand pass from Tygo Callig finds Aidan Nolan. A twist and a turn from Nolan, and the ball is sent forward. This is hit very well. Will it be accurate?
It's a brilliant score.
Yes, that is a brilliant score. Bunclody 123, Crossabeg Ballymurn 319. A 2-point game now, Paul.
A 2-point game, and you'd wonder, there's a Crossabeg have been forced maybe 2 or 3 times in front of the goal with some of the majors, but they're capitalising on it now. But I wonder will be a twist in the end, and will Bunclody get one at the end just to get their own back.
Hook out from Noel Scallon is aimed over the far side. Conor Handrick is the one who sends the hand pass back to Owen, or Colin Farrell, and Aidan Nolan has it now again. I think this one might swing. It has. It's gone to the right hand side and wide, and that could be a vital wide in this game, JJ.
Yeah, they need a goal. There's 3 minutes of the second period of extra time left. They're 2 points down. I don't think they're not going to score 3 points from play or from frees. I reckon. I think they'll need a goal.
This puck out is now a long one. Seamus Carroll and Kieran Regan are there, and Regan does very well to dispossess Seamus Carroll. The ball is sent in forward. Can Billy Kelly get the hurl to it? Noel Scallon gets his hand to it and keeps it out. Kevin Dunn is trying to put pressure on there, but the ball is sent forward. Bill Eviston and Jack Fortuner favours to win it for Crossabeg Ballymurn. Bill Eviston has it under control now. Paddy Devricks is inside, but Peter Atkinson intercepts that one and sends it back to Aidan Nolan. He's launched many attacks now in this extra time period for Bunclody, and he launches another one. Podge Keogh, the new man in, is the person who receives that one in the full forward line. A shot from Podge Keogh. That's a top class score from the substitute Podge Keogh. We're back to 1 point now, Paul.
Oh yeah, Aidan Nolan, I suppose when he got that one, he said, I'm going to have another rattler, and then he thought better and he goes, no, I'm going to play him the newcomer. And listen, that was legs off the bench as well. He had 5 or 10 yards on his markers, just come into the play a few minutes ago, and what an introduction, of what a shot.
2 minutes left here in extra time, 124 to 319. Sean Kenny couldn't get the hurl to that one, but the ball falls through to Aidan Nolan. Aidan Nolan sends it inside to Kieran Regan. Kieran has time to take a shot. It's a dangerous ball. Noel Scallon bats it out. Kevin Dunn is first to the breaking ball. A one-handed flick doesn't go to plan, but David Keogh is there for Crossabeg Ballymurn and sends a little flick inside to Paddy Foley, and Paddy is fouled on the way out, and it's going to be a free too. Crossabeg Ballymurn have 1.5 minutes of normal time left to play here, JJ.
Yeah, I think Crossabeg they've sat off Aidan Nolan, and he's just cleaning up again back here. One of the Devricks, Conor Devricks seems to be gone up on him now. Ronan seems to have gone back out the middle of the field, but they were so effective in cutting Aidan's influence out. There's so many of them down on the field, in fairness. One thing you can't do is question Bunclody's character. Like, they went 3 points down, a lot of teams would have given up, but they've just battled and Crossabeg are just throwing everything at them.
And that ball was won by Owen Keogh and sent backwards there to Paddy Devricks. Paddy takes a shot. I think that one's gone to the right hand side and wide. Paddy has gone down with cramp. There's lads down everywhere. Arthur O'Neill takes the puck out now. There's going to be one more chance, I think, for Bunclody. There's 9 minutes and 20 seconds gone here in the second half of extra time. Cathal Doyle has been brought back in.
Yeah, you'd really fear for most of these players having to play another match next week, because most of these fellas don't play to walk to Wednesday.
You could fear for the 5 lads that have to take penalties.
Alan Byrne is in for Bill Eviston, and on the Bunclody side, Cathal Doyle has been brought back in. I think Bunclody will have one more chance. There's only 10 seconds of the second half of extra time left here. 124 to 319. There has been a couple of injury stoppages here in this second half of extra time. There might even be 2 minutes of injury time, JJ.
Absolutely, and whoever has paid €5 at home to watch this, I know they've had to listen to us today, but they've certainly seen an absolutely brilliant game out there, because at times, okay, teams made mistakes and that, but the quality, just the enthusiasm of the players, the drive, they're never giving up, they're throwing, talk about putting your bodies on the line. These guys won't be able to walk out of here this evening.
I can imagine they'll probably have to play 2 or 3 minutes of extra time here, because there's a minute and a half gone now and nothing's happened.
We're going to find out very shortly, because Gerard McGrath, the fourth official, is just setting up I think he's going to set up the injury time board, but we haven't seen it yet. Arthur O'Neill now with the puck out for Bunclody. It's sent low, but Owen Keogh is there, and it wasn't very well placed. But the first touch wasn't good. Sean Kenny has it. He doesn't have it. It's back Alan Byrne is the new man in, and Owen Keogh. These substitutes from Crossabeg Ballymurn have combined very well to keep them in this game. Here's another substitute, David Murphy, inside to his brother Niall. Can Niall win the foot race against Conor Crane? David is over here in loads of space, but a great sidestep by Niall Murphy. A shot and a point for Crossabeg Ballymurn, and it's a 2-point game. There's very little left now. A goal is the only thing Bunclody are going to be able to save this day with, I'd say, JJ.
Aidan Nolan has gone up front now. Colin Keogh looks to be in awful trouble with his shoulder here on the ground. He'll be, or Colin, I don't know why I keep calling Colin Keogh, sorry about that, lads. Colin Farrell, yeah, he looks, now he seems to have movement on. I'd say he'll be okay, but again, yeah, we should have another, there's a minute and a half of injury time gone in extra time. Knowing Colin, he'll certainly stay on, but yeah, I think it's put Aidan Nolan, put John Kenny, put them all up front, because they're going to need a goal to win it now.
11 minutes 40 seconds gone in this second half of extra time here in the Pettit Senior Hurling Championship. The puck out from Art O'Neill, and the game is over. Crossabeg Ballymurn win an epic game here in Chadwick's Wexford Park. 3 goals and 20 points to halfway house Bunclody's 1 goal and 24. Paul, if any of the other games this weekend are half as exciting as this one, we'll be in for some weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe this will be like that famous semi-final weekend last year where just it was game in the Learning Series where game after game just got better from each other, but no, it'll take a fair game to beat this one. Two teams really went hammer and tongs at it for the full 70-80 minutes, and really the game was in doubt right up to the end. And listen, I suppose Crossabeg Ballymurn, that maybe that tiny bit of extra fitness in the end did tell, and listen, Bunclody they died with their boots on, and listen, you just can't ask any more really, Bunclody.
When games go to extra time, JJ, it's often the lad that mightn't have played before, as I said earlier, the lad that mightn't have played very much in the year that step up in the mark, or the lad that's been brought on as a sub that no one expected really to do anything, but the subs for Crossabeg Ballymurn seem to all perform very well when they come in there.
They did, yeah, and listen, I think we said it, we point out at the start of the game, Owen Kelly was an awful loss to Bunclody there today, and the character that they showed to stick with it, with the game, but I don't think there's anyone could question that Crossabeg were probably, listen, there's only 2 points in it, but they were probably, worthy of that victory there today. And God, listen, as Paul said, if the other semi-final this evening, if the 2 senior semi-finals tomorrow or anything is as exciting and as quality, and the effort and the drive, and that's everything that's good about hurling was on display out there today. I mean, it was tough. Fairness, David O'Leary played his part in it. He let some of the stuff go that others maybe could have blown for frees, but it certainly added to the game, and there wasn't a dirty stroke in that whole game. There's a lot of tired bodies out there today, but where Bunclody maybe last year were maybe disappointed losing a county final, I mean, they give everything they had to that game there today, and probably just beaten by a team with, as Paul said, a little bit more physicality, a little bit more conditioning on them at the end of the game. Bunclody have a lot of young hurlers there. They'll only get better if they stick at it, if they stick with each other. They'll obviously be disappointed. They'll have to regroup now and get ready for their first year in senior football. But Crossabeg now will get their recovery right in the next couple of days, and they've been just thereabouts for the last number of years intermediate, and you could see the same, I suppose, about the Alley and about St. James's, and whoever comes through to meet them in the final next week, it'll be one hell of a game, because this Crossabeg team look like one that have the bit between their teeth. I think Paul mentioned it there earlier as well, that it just looks like there's something different about them. You saw it last week against Oilgate, you saw it there today. They weren't going to be beaten. Bunclody got back and got the draw within the normal time. They came out again, and in fairness, and I did speak about O'Sheen and that Sean Kenny had done a good job on him in particularly the second half of normal time, but the second half of extra time there, O'Sheen Foley stood up to the mark. He got a couple of points, he got a free. He was the man that really kind of grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck and was ably abetted by a lot of other guys, and Niall Murphy showed his experience in his class. Yeah, absolutely, showed his experience in his class there in the full forward line again, and geez, fair play to both teams. And they all know, and everyone that was in here today certainly got value for money, and I think anyone that watched it at home certainly got value for money as well.
And Paul, looking forward then, Crossabeg Ballymurn will play either Buffersally or St. James's in the final. Crossabeg Ballymurn have been in a couple of finals in the last few years and lost, I think, 2 of them by a point. Have they got what it takes to go that one step further?
And I think it was, as I said, after going to come into today, it was because I think that win against Oilgate Glenbrine, you can't really underestimate what a win against your most fierce rival when your underdogs does to you. And all of a sudden, when they won that match, it was like, basically, yes, we do have a great chance of winning this. Last year's gone. That was I think that was the turning point. Well, of course, I mean, it was the big match, but you weren't just beating anybody in the quarter final. You were beating the favourites of the competition. You were beating your arch rivals, and you were beating a team that had been in the senior semi-final just 2 years previous. So that would have laid any doubts they would have had that they were good enough to win it this year. So I said, added to their their conditioning, they're a very good serious football team as well. And now, in saying that, today they probably got 2 fortunate goals, but you can't take that away from Crossabeg. When the game was in the mental pot in the last 10 or 15 minutes, then goals didn't mean anything to anybody. At that stage, the game was level. They drove on, they won the match, and they deserved the victory. But yeah, listen, they'll be facing either St James's, either Buffer's Alley, and I'm sure they'll be going in. You can't underestimate anybody, but they'll definitely be going in knowing that if we play a Ray game, they'll probably end up winning the match.
Well, after an epic game here in Chadwick's Wexford Park in the Courtyard Ferns Intermediate Hurling Championship semi-final, it's Crossabeg Ballymurn who come out on top by 2 points, 320 to 124. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, and from myself, Paul and JJ, thanks very much for joining us, and hopefully we'll have an excellent weekend of GAA action to continue.